Thank you. All right. And we're back here on the 7-4 Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio 105.3 WYPC Jackson. And we are here on the 7-4 Sports Show hot day in the 740, but we've got some interesting and hot sports lined up as well throughout the day. Bub, why don't you give the people a look at what we're going to be talking about this afternoon?
Yeah, we're going to kick it off with the upcoming NBA draft. A lot of things to be excited about there. I'm going to throw in my 2 cents of my top 5 guys that I think are going to go. And then we're going to switch it over to the WNBA with Caitlin Clark and their game last night against the Washington Mystics.
Another dub.
Another dub, indeed. And then we're going to look at some MLB action, which we know Rob's
salivating over there. He hears MLB.
Cook on.
I just like to bet on them. I don't.
Well, if you had $20, you would like to bet on
if you did have $20.
Yeah, if I had $20.
And then we're going to go into trivia night with Lori Graves here at Stockroom 601.
That's going to be interesting. That's to follow us here at 7 p.m. And we're kind of the pre-show, Bub, kicking it off here. And we're joined by some pretty good company this afternoon as well. We got our interns, our street team members from Total Media here kicking it with us this afternoon. And we are going to keep things as PG-13 as we can for the crew here. A bunch of 16 to 19-year-olds. But they put in the work. They got us set up. Mikey showed up with a fresh cut, ready to go today. And I'm ready to go. So let's just go ahead and get right into it here, Bub. We're going to, again, hot day here. Hot day in the 740. We got to make sure that we cool things down, and we're cooling it down early with what's become one of our favorite segments here on the 740 Sports Show. Help us love hockey. We want to love hockey. It's becoming easier and easier to do. Every game of the Stanley Cup Finals. And now, Rob, we got the late text from you. They're dragging them back to Alberta.
Boy, I tell you what, I watched the last 2 minutes of that game the other night, and I love hockey. Holy cow. You want to talk about athleticism, pursuit, like just full-on go to get the puck. It was amazing.
You were very excited to discuss it with
There was a couple, I immediately sent it to Bub. We hopped on Discord, talked about it. It was amazing. Literally watched the last 2 minutes. Florida down 1. Empty net. They only got like 2 shots on goal in that 2 minutes, which I thought was pretty wild, being only down, get an extra skater.
Right.
But the hustle plays on the pucks that was headed towards the empty net in that last 2 minutes was amazing.
Crazy.
I'm talking inches from scoring goals that they saved. It sold me to love hockey. It really did.
Rob and that fat wallet on the edge of his seat watching Stanley Cup Finals, man. I love it.
If I find $20 tonight, I'm going to probably look at that game for tomorrow.
Yeah. That game, again, Game 6 tomorrow, back in Alberta. Bub still probably couldn't point out Alberta on a map. No
Brown
sweat.
couldn't either today.
Okay.
Could you spell it?
Yes. Better than Edmonton.
I mean, that's fair.
Brown thought it was in what? Quinnipiac?
That was the only thing I guessed,
Yeah. So, I mean,
It's
his
in Canada.
Canadian knowledge isn't as versus mine either. So
How about that? It's in Canada, and they play good hockey up there. They're playing great hockey. Connor McDavid played great hockey, not to be confused with Conor McGregor. I did slip up yesterday, and I did give a pretty solid Conor McGregor impersonation afterwards. I was pretty proud of it to come back from, but nonetheless, I digress there. Connor McDavid playing phenomenal hockey. We talked about it on Tuesday, whether a hockey player could take over a game. You can, and his name was Connor McDavid.
Yeah, you scored 2 out of 5 goals. I mean,
and assisted on 2 more.
Yeah, I got to see the last goal that he scored. Was the hustle play that I seen from the Florida guy. I'm not going to remember names. I promise you that, especially in hockey. He was. I'm talking inches from.
They got numbers too.
They do.
that is probably the toughest sport to remember.
They got numbers, baby. It don't matter.
But he was able to stop. It was like 4 inches away from being a goal. Kicked it out. Unfortunately, went right to McDavid. And
see, there's a name.
That's just because you just said it, and I had to think about it for a second before I said it to make
Fair
sure
enough.
it was right. However, he was able to score a goal right there with seconds remaining to have 2 goals on the game, and like you said, 2 assists. So it was
and I'm hoping it's enough to get our senior basketball guy here, Andrew Brown, to tune into some hockey with us because
Tonight?
Tomorrow night.
you
Tomorrow
can tune
night
into
at
hockey whenever you
8
want.
o'clock.
8
Okay.
o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you when to tune into hockey.
I mean, if
You're an
Rob-
adult, you can make your own decisions.
If Rob gives me a good degenerate bet, I might.
Well, only thing I'm saying is I don't know that he'll like hockey because he's a NBA guy, so defense really plays a part in hockey, not so much in the
tough.
NBA. So I don't know how much he'll like that.
Well, hey, defense
People
won a
getting
chip in
defended.
Boston. That's all I'll say there. It did win the chip in Boston, as hard as it is for me to admit that. Because
Yeah.
as much as we love hockey, boys, we hate the Celtics.
And the
Celtics.
Patriots.
Did the Mavericks score 100
it
points
just
at all
Boston?
in
Once.
that series? Once. See,
Yeah, game
defense.
The game they won.
Defense.
Game 4.
Yeah,
The
Defense.
40-point blowout outlier of that one.
The rare occasion of an NBA team scoring under 100.
Defense.
We notably, Rob took the Panthers in Game 5 to wrap up that series, and well, I think we're on thin ice with our hockey bet, so to speak. Not looking good on that side of things. How are we feeling about the matchup tomorrow night, guys?
I believe the Oilers are favored in this at home.
1.5 goal faves.
1.5 goal faves.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I give a goal and a half, but I mean, they got the momentum. They drug the Cats back to Edmonton or wherever they're going to, and
Did you say egg?
I think he threw a G in
Edmonton,
there.
yeah.
Was that Egmonton?
over easy, and they're going to fry the Panthers.
They
so.
wear gloves, not egg mittens. They're gloves.
But I'm going to have to go with old Connor McDavid.
Wow. Okay. Rob, going with the easy one, and Amy can pronounce, well, not the team, but he can pronounce Connor McDavid. Bub, who you like in this one tomorrow night? Game 6, Stanley Cup Finals.
I'm gonna keep rolling with Canada. I don't know where anything's at, like in Canada or
Okay.
anything about Canada, but they seem hot when I pick them. So,
It's
They got
cold.
firm ice.
Rob,
Oh,
get
yeah,
over
this ice
Oh,
that.
here we go
Yeah.
again.
They are in a controlled environment. The ice is the same.
Did you
Rob,
know they were playing inside?
I feel like you think they're playing like outside in Arlington, Texas, or something.
No, but I would say that you know do we know if the stadium holds more people? That's a lot of more body heat. You know, I feel like there's a lot of factors could play into that, right?
It's possible.
It's possible.
I mean, anything's possible. I doubt it. I doubt it. I'd say it's the same temperature ice. And it's-
Ice is ice, huh?
Hey, we learned yesterday, though, because Bubba commented on if you want to really start pushing Bub's buttons,
And just talk about
just
money.
talk
Don't say
about
the
rich
Bengals.
people. Just talk about rich people.
Yeah.
And make anything that might be a money grab, and Bub starts sweating, and his face gets a little bit red, and he starts clenching his fist like the Arthur meme. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. So, Bub.
Yeah, I'll go Edmonton. I think they're going to go 4-2 tonight.
4-2. Okay, got him to cover.
You are covering the 1.5. Okay.
Don't you think that's a big swing though? Because Florida was favored a goal and a half last game, and they lose, and now Edmonton's a
They
goal and a half.
lost by
That's a
2
big
goals.
swing.
Okay, so let's look at this. Florida was favored by a goal and a half.
Yeah.
Okay, they lost.
Lost by 2 goals.
It is a big swing. Lost by 2 goals. And
3-goal swing.
well, it is. But you just picked them to win by two goals
Yeah,
tonight.
not 3.
I mean, I'm just saying though. I mean,
3-goal swing. Well, yeah, I'm confident.
they got
in
all the momentum in the
Canadians.
world. They got all the momentum. It hurts Rob's heart knowing that that's how you feel about it. Knowing that Rob, the Patriot, is just diehard American. You know, honestly, we need to just start doing a
They
national
sing
anthem
both of the
before every
national
episode.
anthems at the game. So
Honestly,
it's
I think we
equal.
should do the national anthem before the show every time, but
Yeah,
that's just
Pledge of Allegiance, like we were back in kindergarten.
we can work on that. We can work on that. Brown, getting back to reality here for just a moment, back to the realm of hockey.
Yes.
What do you like in this one as someone that does not watch hockey?
Does
and has
not
no
watch
idea what's
hockey
going
at
on?
all. You said who was the favorites?
Edmonton is the favorite.
Edmonton?
Yeah, the Panthers are playing the Edmonton Oilers.
a little.
Give me the
back-
Oilers.
A little
Give me
history
the favorites.
here is the Panthers were up 3-1.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
3-0.
3-0.
It was 3-0.
Okay, yeah, 3
Yeah.
up 3-0.
Oh,
And now it's 3-2.
So
Has anybody come back from 3-0?
Yeah,
Down
the
3-0 and-
1942 Toronto Maple Leafs have.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if one
You
Canadian can
can't tell
do it,
whether
another
he doesn't
can.
know whether to believe me or not.
I don't.
You don't believe me?
No. I have a hard time believing you.
you know that question's probably had to come up. You know he Googled it for sure. He
But
has
how else do you think I found out? That's how we find out anything.
Made it up.
Of course I Googled it. I did Google it.
Safari
That
it.
is how. Because I knew the
Safari it
question
with
would
my
come
iPhone.
up.
Okay.
This is, hey, you can't knock me for being prepared and loving hockey. You watch one hockey game. You're not a hockey
You
lover.
watch 2 minutes
I've-
of one hockey game.
Who, Rob?
Rob.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
and I love it.
Yeah. Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
love
watching
it
the whole
first-
thing tomorrow.
Love
Listen,
it first
the best
sight.
thing is
Unless
the
there's
breaks
anything
after
else
each
on.
period because it's like 15 minutes and you can just go to the kitchen and get whatever you need or, anything else that you might need to get you
Perfect.
through a good hockey
Go get a
game.
nice little snack in between periods.
Yeah,
I love
plenty
it.
of time. It's
Yeah.
like half
Go
time.
outside, change the brakes, whatever
What-
you need to do.
Yeah.
I told Brown the way to get into
Mo?
it. I told Brown yesterday on the show. I said the way you get into hockey is you look at it like this. Same way we look at it as everything as dads. We can't sit down and watch a series of something that's 50 minutes long. So I broke it down for Brown and I said it's just one series of 20-minute episodes. That's it.
Yeah.
If you can sit and watch one series of 20-minute episodes, you got a hockey game.
And I don't think the clock stops a whole lot, does it?
Face-offs, penalties,
They do have-
reviews,
I did have a
TV
question watching
timeouts.
it.
No, not very often.
They do have time. They do have timeouts. How many timeouts do they get? They get like every other thing. Like
I don't know.
3
You
or-
should try to find out without Googling and see how hard it is.
That means I'd have to watch a full thing. But
Exactly. Yeah, by the time Rob gets there, they got players off the ice, and they don't have timeouts left, and half the fans are out of the stands
Yeah.
by the time Rob gets to a hockey game. But, okay, so Brown,
I'm going to take the favorites.
Edmonton.
Yeah.
Brown going with the easy,
Just
the
favorites.
safe bet.
Yep.
You're not going. You're
You
going to
think
give
they
the
cover?
goal and a half.
What is it?
Are you going to give the
I
goal
feel
and
like
a
a goal and a half is a lot in general. So I would say give me the under on that.
It's not like soccer.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know it can
It's
vary.
kind of like soccer.
Yeah, but I mean, the point spread in the series has been, over 2 goals each game.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it hasn't been
Well,
particularly close, but
Do you think-
the over under is 5.5 goals
Oh, really?
for both? You know, obviously. for
Bub
both
took the over as
combined.
well. Over and the points.
You got to risk it for the biscuit.
Okay.
Didn't you say the goalies were playing pretty well, though?
I mean,
Every
Five-
professional
one goal.
goalies.
5 to
What
3
seems like
yesterday.
one goalie in each game has played particularly well. I will say that.
But neither of them have played well at the
Stuart
same time.
Skinner played well last game with 29 saves on 32 shot attempts. He only gave up 3 goals. On the other hand, Sergei Bobrovsky had a much more difficult time, giving up 4 goals on 19 attempts. So, but playoff Bob's been a little bit better. Not to be confused with preseason Rob, who shows up here. He's sending a text right now.
No,
but,
he's looking at Florida versus
I'm
Clemson
giving Bob.
baseball.
It's not social studies.
I was
dude.
I was
Chill out.
looking at the rankings of the hockey teams that are playing.
There's 2
probably on the
teams.
Google at
I
that.
would say 1 and 2 is pretty
No.
accurate.
I was just looking like shots on goals, things like that.
Well, you could have just been listening. I was talking about those.
I was
things.
listening.
Welcome to the show, Rob. We're happy to have you. So we got 2 pulling for Edmonton. Are we all 3? Or we got 3 for Edmonton?
I'm with. I don't know that I'm
Canada.
giving.
Rob.
I don't know that I'm
Rob
giving
the Patriot, rocking with Canada.
I don't know that I'm giving the goal and a half, but I think I'm going to go with Egmonton. And
You got to tune in. Seriously, I'm not trolling you on this one. Tune into the pregame festivities. There are a lot of cool things that go into the pregame festivities.
Okay.
I promise you. The player introductions,
National anthem?
the national anthem will have you.
oh, 2 of them.
Hey,
One's
do you sit?
Canadian.
Do you sit down on the Canadian one or?
hold
I
up.
mean,
You
I'm sitting
stand
down-
at the national anthem at your
in my
house?
living room.
Bro, come on.
I'm sitting down for
Yeah, I make my kids
Come
do it too.
on. You make
Takes his
your
hat
kids
off
do
and
it.
everything.
That's tough. Okay, that's the most American thing we've ever heard. But that's coming from a guy who's going with Canada. I'm going to take the underdog. I'm going with Florida to wrap it up.
Okay.
You've heard of
They're
partying
gonna
in
close
the
it out,
USA. We're partying with maple syrup in Canada tonight, boys and girls. I want to see someone dump syrup on their head coach. I want to see it all.
I want to see Rob chug a bottle.
Can you
of it.
bet on that?
Can you bet on
Yeah. Like in football, like for the Super Bowl, you can bet like what kind of
the color of the
Gatorade.
Bunch of
Gatorade?
color.
Is there just
Syrup.
like syrup? Can you just bet
How sweet
syrup?
the syrup is will be sugar free.
What kind of syrup?
Rob's
What
betting on the
brand?
texture of the ice, how hard the ice is going to be prior to the matchup.
I mean, if there was some data backing it up, I would.
It's
That's the thing. There's not.
that's
So I
your
would even
theory
more.
is just so null and void.
That's the entire thing behind the degenerate gambling. We don't want to bet on things that everyone else are betting on because we don't even have $20. But if we did, that would be the pitch. Okay, so I'm the only one,
Yeah.
one going with Florida.
Buy yourself Florida.
Man. Okay. Well, when Florida wins, and I love hockey just a little bit more than you guys because they're up there drinking beer from a Stanley Cup and waving that good old American flag, Rob. I don't want to see you standing up.
Oh, I'm still going to, I'll bandwagon them. Like, I'll wait till
I know,
third
you're a
period, and
Cowboys fan,
I'll
of
send
course
out a
you
text
will.
message and say, Panthers are going back down to Florida as winners or something, like, exciting.
Yeah. Hey,
even
we're
though I-
dragging that Stanley Cup back to America where it belongs. We'll be right back here. You're listening to the 7-4 Sports Show live on Fox Sports Radio 105.3 WYPC Jackson.
As they return to traditional media like radio.
As an advertiser, you have to trust your partners to protect your brand's truth. Radio advertising, trusted to deliver your brand's truth.
Radio.
It's on.
To find out how local radio can boost your business, contact your Total Media sales pro, Derek McManus, at 740-286-3023.
When you're living with low vision, life can be a challenge. Everyday tasks and the things you love to do can become difficult and feel impossible. You might find yourself feeling sad, isolated, frustrated, and like you just want to give up. Don't. If you're 55 or older and your world has gotten smaller because of vision loss, it's time to be bold. Time to be bold is helping people like you with low vision regain your independence. Go to timetobebold.org for a list of services in your state that will give you the tools, technology, training, and support you need to live your bold, best life. Join others who found a bright, bold future. Go to timetobebold.org. Help is here. Go to timetobebold.org today.
While serving in Afghanistan, I was shot in the head by sniper fire. The fighting was so intense, the medevac chopper was barely able to land. I was given a 5% chance to live. I'm Adam Alexander, and I'm a veteran. Today, I visit classrooms and talk with kids about dealing with life's struggles. I tell them, with a little help and a lot of work, that you can overcome any challenge.
DAV helps veterans like Adam get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year in life-changing ways.
I know that some struggles are big and some are small, but they're all struggles, and you have to learn to get through them. With support from DAV, more veterans like me can live their best life. And as a new father, I have one more reason to keep on keeping on. My victory is being there for the next generation.
Adam Alexander, may your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
When I smoke weed, I get lost in the music. I like to isolate each instrument. The rhythmic bass, the harmonies on the piano, the sticky melody.
Hey, careful, babe. There's someone crossing the street.
Sorry, I didn't see him there.
If you feel different, you drive different. Don't drive high. It's dangerous and illegal everywhere. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Fox Sports Radio, 105.3 WYPC Jackson. You're listening to the 740 Sports Show. It's Eric, Bub, Rob, and senior basketball guy Andrew Brown. And it's a hot one here in the 740, boys. Another day here in the 90s and another day talking about the hottest sports topics going on. Even though we just wrapped up our Help Us Love Hockey segment, even the Patriot Rob rolling with the Canadians. I'm the only one taking the Panthers tomorrow night at Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Going to be a great game. Brown's going to tune into this one. It's going to be a fun
Yeah,
time.
absolutely.
Okay. Will you be just happy to be watching?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Always.
We love to hear it. We're going to swing the ball into Brown's side of the world, though. Into the court, getting off the ice here. Caitlin Clark in the Fever get a win last night over the struggling Mystics squad. And anytime Caitlin Clark takes the floor, well, we're in. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead. Let's talk about it here. The Mystics last night fall into the Fever, 88 to 81 rather. Caitlin Clark did her thing, and so did a few other members of the Fever squad. Bub.
Yeah, the Mystics dropped to 2-13 on the season, so win for the Fever was expected. Caitlin Clark drops 18 points, a shocking 12 rebound performance and 6 assists. Did have a couple turnovers, but I think that's her and Aaliyah Boston still trying to get together and kind of figure it out. But they do seem like they're becoming a big two unit. Aaliyah Boston finished with 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. So I think she's really progressing well as a big in the league, especially as a rookie being teamed up with Caitlin Clark. Ariel Atkins for the Mystics led the way on their team and led the game with 27 points, 2 points shy of her season high for the year. 1 rebound and 2 assists. Other than that, there wasn't really anything else crazy that went on. I think, again, Caitlin Clark and Leah Boston are really becoming that 2 big unit. And once they start figuring it out, Caitlin starts limiting those turnovers, they're going to be a force to reckon with in the league.
Yeah, I agree with you. And another guard, the shooting guard, Kelsey Mitchell, she was right in the mix as well, 22 points as well on 8 of 11 shooting. And Bub, you mentioned the big two. It seems like any night they get help from a third, they're going to get a win. The Fever kind of figuring out how to play together. Caitlin Clark looks more and more comfortable, and I do think that that's a team that's going to just gain more and more strides as the year goes on. Browns, you tuned into this one? Did you watch any of this one?
I watched a little bit of it. I would say the turnovers, I wouldn't be too concerned about turnovers. I mean, with the NBA as well.
We know you wouldn't be.
With the NBA as well, it's hard for rookie guards to come in, kind of protect the ball. So, I mean, you're going to have those moments with turnovers. I think you're just going to expect her to get better and better with those as the year progresses and then as she progresses in her career.
Yeah, I mean, the turnovers, those are just growing pains, right? You expect those from any young player. What's important, though, is I think every night she takes the floor, you see her get a little more comfortable. And from your number one draft pick, that's definitely what you want. And this Fever team's starting to grow a little bit and starting to pile on some wins on the year. Bub mentioned they get their 6th win of the year.
Yeah, they go up to 6-10 on the season, so they've played a significant amount more games already than other teams. Like they play the Dream tomorrow, and the Dream have only played 13 games.
Right.
So I don't know if they're like kind of pushing Caitlin Clark, like that agenda a lot on TV, trying to get it like going as fast as possible or what. But there's going to be a break where we don't have a Caitlin Clark game for a while.
There were over 17,000 fans at last night's game again. I mean, she's box office. She's must-see TV. Rob,
don't put her in the Olympics.
Yeah, and then don't put her in the Olympics. Rob, your thoughts on that?
I honestly, my thoughts are, I look down in here and I see Bub's sheet of notes here. That is the most stats and notes I've ever seen written down for a WNBA game before. And honestly,
big handwriting though, isn't it?
I'm thrilled by it. It's beautifully written. But I'm surprised that they have all these viewers and everything like that, and they still are holding strong on not putting her in the Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin Durant himself came out and said she hasn't earned it yet. Did you guys see that?
I did see that.
Yeah, I mean,
he said she's going to be a great player. There's other players that deserve it more than her right now.
Yeah, Rob, there's other players, but I'm sure she's a good person.
I'm sure all of those other players have brought the amount of attention to the WNBA that she has.
So attention gets you on the team.
The attention comes from gameplay. So the gameplay, yes, gets you on the team.
Okay.
I think Rob was saying if she's on the team, it's going to bring more attention to the Olympics in general.
Or the WNBA.
But does she deserve to make the roster over the other 12 women who did?
I mean, she was a number one draft pick.
This year?
She would be next year.
She
probably would be the year after that, too.
Is she a top 12 player in the U.S.?
Christian Laettner made the dream team. Let's not forget that. So if he can make the dream team,
I agree with that too. Go for it.
So if he can make the dream team, I think she can make this Olympics team.
Okay.
I mean, even just sitting, just have her name associated with it. Just have her as a, reserve or something. Just having her name associated with the Olympics, I think, would go very well with it.
So, maybe if we gave her pom poms and everything, and just said, "Hey, we're going to be
you don't have to
teammates
do
from
that.
America."
I mean, we can start doing the participation trophy thing.
Yeah,
sure.
If you guys want that,
I'll tell you what. If I was running that business, she's on the team because that's bringing in the money.
Oh, okay.
But I don't
You'll
think
have your time to
Olympics
talk
are as
business here in a while,
focused.
Rob.
I mean, that's a kind of a universal thing. Is the Olympics? It's not as money based. I mean, you got to have.
But
money
it correlates to the WNBA. You know what I mean? Like it correlates to what they're.
She's box office. She's must see.
Yes.
I'm not saying she's not, but again, it feels like the Olympics more than any other type of basketball, and this goes for the NBA even, is a little bit of a hierarchy. You mentioned Laettner in the 80s being on the Dream Team. I think Laettner was probably, we can look back and say he didn't have a career that panned out, but he was just as hyped at that time as Caitlin Clark was in the women's game. Because, Christian Laettner coming out of Duke was supposed to be the next big thing in basketball. Just didn't translate to the NBA. But that said, I think it's a little more of a respect game. I think her time will come. She'll headline the Olympics team one day, no doubt. But I don't know if it's there yet.
It's crazy you're seeing the WNBA women want all the stars want to be on the Olympics, and then most of the NBA, except for this year's exception, they've been kind of shying away from it for the last 12 years.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they can't. There was a point in time, right, in the NBA where they're like, we don't want to go play in the Olympics.
I mean, who says Caitlin Clark wants to play in 4 years at the Olympics again?
It's true. I mean, she is someone that just seems focused on basketball as a whole, though, and I think that she did say that that's a dream for her, to recognize her Olympic dream of playing basketball, in the Olympics. But I think her focus right now is in the WNBA, it seems, and I think it, quite frankly, should be, based on what we've been seeing, what we talked about yesterday with her becoming a very scrutinized athlete and kind of becoming the center of a lot of these social talks and those types of things like that, by none of her own degree, right? She's not asking these questions herself. She's just giving answers that can't seem to be one way or the other.
Yeah,
and
she gives great answers.
It seems, we talked about some of the answers and responses that she gives to some of the questions she's asked, and she just seems to want to deflect it and focus on ball.
Yeah.
And I respect that. Unfortunately, though, we talked about the media access and things like that yesterday, and the media asks some trash questions sometimes, and whether you answer it the right way or the wrong way, you got to answer it half the time. So I think she's got focuses on just ball, and it seems like WNBA right now.
Yeah, and continuing that 3-game winning streak they got going on right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're cooking, and that team's gelling. That big two to Kelsey Mitchell kind of flirting with being that big three. Yeah, I think you're right, Brown.
No, I was just going to say there's nothing wrong with her wanting to make that stance either. Like we said yesterday, I mean, there's nothing wrong with her wanting to focus on ball. She has that right to do that, and she shouldn't be scrutinized for it either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it? I have a question. You guys know more about it than I do. Did she ever accept that Big 3 contract, or was that just kind of forgotten
$10
about?
million contract
I think
from
that
Ice
was just
Cube.
kind of forgotten about.
She turned it down.
Okay.
But I did see something that the women are starting a Big 3 of their own, I think, in like Miami or something. I don't think that's going to be in the near future, but I think it's going to be within the next couple years.
Yeah.
Which I think is going to be a nice boost to the game as well. So people
I
are going to watch it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, when it's on, I don't turn it on. You know what I mean? I don't turn it on to watch it, but when it's on, I'll watch Big 3 basketball. I mean, former NBA guys a lot of times and things like that. That's fun to me. If you threw Caitlin Clark in that mix, I said she's box office. I mean, I'm definitely watching her play against grown men.
Yeah.
That's not going to, I mean.
I just watched a game with Greg Oden dominating the other day.
That was sick. I watched some of those clips as well. Greg Oden was playing great basketball in the Big 3, man, and it was kind of fun to watch. You could see him playing it and enjoying the game, it seemed.
Yep.
Are you going to watch Big 3?
Do they play defense?
I don't know. I never watched it.
He asked if you play defense, like you haven't played basketball in 15 years. The last time you did, you were on the court 10 minutes. You rolled an ankle.
But I play defense.
And milked that ankle injury
You don't
for
play
2
anything.
months.
Hold on. Who made him roll that ankle?
It wasn't you.
Yeah, Brown was the guy with the ball in his hand.
That's breaking news to me. I didn't realize that.
Thank you.
Oh, breaking indeed.
It was your cousin Justin as I jump in the air
That's
and land on
worse.
his foot.
You didn't
and
get
roll my
higher
ankle.
than the height of
I
his
was going to
foot.
say, you have to get higher than
He's had
shit.
8 years to think of this excuse.
No, that's the truth.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It's a very Paul Pierce-esque excuse,
Like,
but hey.
imagine driving an hour down to play basketball and you played not even 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Speaking of injuries, notable injury in the WNBA world, bub.
Yeah, Cam Brink went down Tuesday with an injury to her left ACL. Yeah.
Torn
And it was
ACL.
announced yesterday that it is a torn ACL. Pretty nasty injury. She toughed it out. She walked to this, or got help to the sidelines and everything, but
Like Rob.
literally
No,
like
they made me
Rob.
walk it off.
I don't know if Rob was going to be able to drive
This
home.
was before Bub lost all the weight, so I just went over and set up against the fence where he was sitting after those 10 minutes.
Your ego is yet to walk it off, brother. You are bent about this.
That's a
one. I'll be
broken
with
pride
you.
you won't get back.
I actually saw a clip of her injury, and it's just like a non-contact, kind of awkward
Slip almost.
Yeah.
Like her leg went forward like a great distance.
Usually,
and it
whenever
was-
you see that, and then them hold the leg, and then have to get carried off, you're always thinking it's an ACL or something of those lines. So,
Yeah.
It's really tough.
unfortunate.
She was an exciting player to watch.
Yeah.
Tall, athletic, big, and that could also shoot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And she was just going to add to that LA squad this year. And a little bit of a setback, but I'm sure, in time, she'll get through it. I mean, the ACL injuries come so far. I mean, we talk about it all the time, just amongst our friend group and stuff. But the Achilles injury, the ACL injury, Adrian Peterson, kind of the guy to blame. I mean, he is. He had
he's
that innovative surgery.
Yeah, the way he came back and then had a dominating. I mean, absolutely dominating.
I mean, he
season.
definitely set the bar.
He's an outlier for ACL injuries,
Yeah.
but
if only Derrick Rose had Adrian Peterson.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Oh.
Didn't Derrick Henry have a knee injury? You're pretty excited for him to return, and he's, a little older.
Yeah, but I don't think
Nick
he was
Chubb
as
did.
old as AP whenever he got
I'm
injured.
talking about
was he?
Cam Brink's like 22.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking
Derrick
about.
Henry's like 31 and going to take 82 more knee shots
Well,
this year.
Cam Brink's got a much different body structure. It'll be tougher on her knees than that of Derrick Henry's.
Yeah, but Derrick
got
Henry's
so
also
much.
going to get drilled in him every game.
Correct, but it's not a contact injury with the ACL. I mean, I could say, I'm not going to. I don't want to have that topic. I don't want to discuss this really, but I could see if one of them were to have another knee injury, I would bet Cam Brink before Derrick Henry.
Are we betting on injuries now?
No, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I
Yeah,
don't
he
want
might
this to
actually
be
put some money on it
misconstrued.
if he had it.
But no, I mean, okay, so notably, I coached women's volleyball for 4 years. I watched the injuries that tall girls and, girls that play sports with such impacts, jumping and things like that. And I just, based on her body structure and that of Derrick Henry's, I could
She's
see
more prone to injury.
where she might be more prone to an ACL injury or another knee injury just because of the structure and the women's anatomy. That's all I'm saying. Nothing crazy.
Like if you look at Rob, you
I
can
don't
tell
want
he's rolling
either
an
of them
ankle.
to have an injury. Yeah, like
Like
Rob,
he told me a story
Rob was
about
put
rolling
on
an
this
ankle
earth.
the other day.
This is a lot of weight on ankles.
Rob
You
was
should
put
know
on this earth to
first.
roll ankles.
That's why I quit.
That's why you quit the
That's
weight.
why I quit doing it.
Yeah, Rob was put on this earth to do what we do and just roll an ankle or two in the meantime.
Every now and again.
Every now and again. And
I never rolled an ankle, by the way. I'm just saying.
And you had a cramp once and
it's
almost
terrible.
cried.
Yeah. Didn't roll an ankle.
Bub used to gotta understand the pain of cramps.
Yeah, never
until he
had a cramp.
one. And when he had one, it was a rough one.
To be fair, it was in both hamstrings, so my legs just shot up and I jumped
the same
off the
time?
couch. Yeah.
Hey,
That happened to me once after a two-a-days at the pool uptown. We got done with 2 days, go over to the pool, jump in the deep end, which deep
But
end
you
for
guys
me
had
was
great
past
meals.
5 foot.
You guys
I
had
think we were in the
horrible
12
meals
foot.
for it too, like McDonald's
Yeah,
and biscuits
yeah,
and gravy.
terrible.
So like
Yeah.
it's just the worst food to have.
Yeah.
We
Great
dive into the
times.
12-foot side there, and both hammies start hurting. I'm sinking, begging for my life to get to the top. Luckily, I did, but I was honestly scared I was going to drown. That's how bad they hurt. I couldn't kick my legs at all. So I understand the double hamstring.
I would have paid so much money to see that.
oh man, unfortunately, buoyant Rob.
Like did you like jump off the diving board and then
No,
go in? And
no, not even the diving board. Just right off the edge. Just dove in because it was 100 degrees out and just tried to cool off. And as soon as I fell in the water, I don't know what it was, the shock of the cold or what, immediate Charlie horses in both hamstrings, and I couldn't get to the top. It was like a little bob.
Well, you finally got it.
Did you stay in the kiddie pool the entire time after that?
No, I called it a day. I think I went back home and fell asleep or something.
Sure you weren't just pulling like a sand lot with Winnie Peppercorn?
No.
That would have made sense. That would've
Did you
made
stay
sense.
there longer than you did whenever we played ball at the pool?
The same time.
About the same? Okay.
Yeah, I think over at the pool and the basketball area, I've over the years I've spent about 45 minutes in total.
You look like Patrick Ewing all iced up afterwards.
Yeah.
Man, the pool has been a dangerous place for Rob. Make sure you're staying hydrated today, boys and girls. It's a hot one here in the 740. And if you want to stay hydrated with us, get on down here to Stockroom 601 in Jackson. We're here having a great time. You're listening to the 740 Sports Show live on Fox Sports Radio 105.3 WYPC Jackson.
Brought to you by Stockroom 601 in Jackson. Check out their menu and entertainment schedule at stockroom601.com. They're open Wednesday 4 to 9, Thursday 4 to 11, Friday 4 to midnight, and Saturday 4 to 1 a.m., closed Sunday through Tuesday. The Vinton County Farmers Market will take place every Saturday from April through October from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Vinton County High School parking lot in MacArthur. Fresh local produce, handcrafted artisan goods, delicious foods, and family fun will all be in ample supply at these events. Everyone is invited to come and support local farmers and artisans and savor some delicious foods and drinks. To become a vendor, contact 740-988-6307. Again, every Saturday from April through October from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Vinton County High School parking lot in MacArthur, the Vinton County Farmers Market will take place. To become a vendor, call 988-6307.
Why? Why take a chance? Why risk a mistake? Why say something? We all have reasons why we choose to ignore the things that give us pause, that seem out of place, that don't feel right. The word why can either paralyze us or empower us to stand up and protect what we love. So if you see something, why do you say something?
I see safe for my family.
I see safe for my friends.
I see say for my students.
We see say for each other.
I see say because all of this matters.
We all have something worth protecting, a why that unifies this community we're all a part of. So protect your everyday. Report suspicious activity to local authorities. If you see something, say something.
While serving in Vietnam, a grenade took my ability to see. Today, I'm a sculptor. Now, my fingers are my eyes. I'm Michael Naranjo. As a veteran, I know the challenges of life can be great. In my art, turning a lump of clay into something beautiful, that is worth doing. Life is like that. We each must use what we can to make things better.
DAV helps veterans like Michael get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year in life-changing ways.
Now, I show others how they can create something with their own hands. I know it can do a lot of good. With support from DAV, more veterans can shape their lives into a thing of beauty. My victory is bringing beauty into the world.
Michael Naranjo, may your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, can potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
Weather is brought to you today by Carmen's Used Cars and Trucks, where you won't want to miss the hot deals like this 2013 Ford F-150 Extended Cab Automatic with V8. It's only $17,995 at Carmen's in Jackson. We're expecting another hot one today as the area remains under that heat advisory through 8 p.m. Saturday. Sunshine with temperatures climbing up to around 94. Then tonight, mostly clear. Lows will be around 70. More of the same for your Friday. Sunny and hot, highs near 96. Those heat index values tomorrow afternoon climbing up to close to 100.
Fox Sports Radio 1053 WYPC Jackson. You're listening to the 740 Sports Show right here. It's Eric, Bub, Rob, and senior basketball guy Andrew Brown joining the show today. It's a hot one here in the 740. It's in the 90s today, and we're here talking all your favorite hot sports topics. We just recapped some of Caitlin Clark's action last night in the win over the Mystics. We had our Help Us Love Hockey segment. Boys and girls, yesterday was a fun one. We're going to take just a quick look back at yesterday. Yesterday we talked about the Les Miles lawsuit. Rob, you missed out on some killer follow-up action if you didn't hear from it.
I was able to tune in, and I listened to a little bit of it, and I heard some of Brown's takes on it and things like that. So I don't really understand a whole lot of it, but I do get, the LSU trying to get rid of him to
cover their own butts.
Cover their own hind ends.
Les Miles proved to be a little bit of a scapegoat in that one, but you were with us on the first day we discussed it, and Bub told us we need to go a little deeper down that rabbit hole.
Okay.
Boy, we went down the rabbit hole, and yesterday we found out some pretty enticing news, including the news that, do you remember the offense that we said wasn't that big of a deal, right? Because the father of the player was gifted cash, right?
Yeah.
He received cash. The offensive lineman, Vidal Alexander, his father was gifted 180 benefits, 180,000 of them.
Okay.
And he was gifted $180,000. Come to find out, that money that he received from a booster, Brown, you want to tell him?
Came from a children's hospital.
It was embezzled from a children's
That's
hospital. So nothing, nothing worse than taking money from a children's hospital to pay a subpar left tackle.
It's almost a Brett Favre move.
It's one of the things that we talked about. Is Brown said, "Wow, it makes Brett Favre not look so bad."
right.
And of course, we agreed that it's always a dude with 3 names. You know what I mean? So this one was John something.
I did hear that,
Funes. Yeah. So
I heard the Bubs joke with Abraham Lincoln.
we completely tried to erase that
I
one.
thought it was such a good one.
We completely tried to erase it. And things got dicey. What's your take on that? Just before we get to NBA free agents, global free agents coming up, like stuff coming up.
My take on, I don't really have a take on.
Does Les Miles deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Because
I
the
don't think
NCAA, listen, because his minimum win threshold 600.
Yeah.
He's .003 below it, 597.
Okay.
With his wins, he goes up to 665 if they're gifted back. Now, granted, all the losses stay on his record. So he loses all the wins and keeps all the losses.
Okay.
So that definitely hurts. But do you think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame knowing that the FBI, the Secret Service, and the IRS all conducted an investigation that led the NCAA to believe that he had no knowledge at all of what happened?
So all of those people who we rely on every day to be truthful that typically aren't. So
Conspiracy, Rob?
No.
Are we getting conspiracy?
No.
It feels
Not at all.
conspiracy.
Not at all. I'm just saying, I mean, if they don't find anything, then they don't find anything. However, if it means that much to him, find another coaching job, get those wins back, and go to the.
Oh, that's a thought.
Possibility. Like, if it means that much to you, don't do like. What's the point?
Joe Paterno
So you'd be
coached
fine
into
with
his
getting
80s.
punished for something you didn't do?
I mean, if there's nothing you can do about it, I mean,
There is,
You
though.
can always do something about
He's
it.
going to court.
He's gotta man up and fight it.
He's seeking a declarative judgment. It's crazy.
seems like they are already declared what they're planning on doing with it.
Very well may.
However, but like I said, I mean, if it means that much to you and you really want to go to the Hall of Fame, then just find a coaching
Okay.
job if that's possible, and just get your wins that way.
In the words of Kevin Garnett and probably Jason Tatum, now anything's possible.
Jason Tatum.
I love that.
We also covered some senior basketball guy news yesterday, WNBA and NBA, and of course yesterday we had our Help Us Love Hockey segment, and we covered NFL beer prices in 2024. The
Missed a good
average,
one, Rob.
most expensive, and cheapest. It was a slow day in sports, boys and girls. Slow day in sports, but we loved it.
I did get the screenshot or the
You got the you did get the graphic.
the graphic of the beers prices, and holy cow!
Yeah. Philly has the highest beer price at $14.67 per 16-ounce beer. Dallas, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati, though, all under the league average. So we got to applaud our three teams there for that respect.
Cincinnati significantly.
Cincinnati, you can
We got
buy
cheap beer in Ohio.
$6.50.
No, you have cheap
Hey,
people.
hey,
Hey, same thing.
$6.50, and I get to watch Joe Burrow and enjoy a cold one.
Maybe.
I'm in. Sign me up.
Just a cold one? Just a singular cold one?
I mean, it's never just a singular cold one.
I mean, at
I don't care
$14
what
a
we
pop.
tell our wives when
It's
we go to
$6
the
in
bar.
Cincinnati?
Yeah, in Cincinnati,
It's only
it's
just
six.
one.
Yeah, I'm going to the bar for a beer with the guys, right? It's never just one. Come on, bub, you know better than that. Anyway, though, that's kind of what we covered yesterday. Brown, we're going to move it forward to today. Let's get things back moving in the right direction here. Upcoming NBA draft and this season's free agents. This is something that we're looking forward to. You had a really good idea, Brown. Got to commend you. You wanted to kind of put these guys into tiers today. The free agents headed into the NBA offseason again. Olympics this offseason as well to kind of go on the radar. But we're going to be talking about who's going to end up where and what the thoughts are with some of these guys in the NBA. So, Brown, I'm going to swing this one over to your floor, man. Ball's in your court.
All right, thank you. So I broke these into 3 tiers, and now these are tiers not it's skill, but it's not based on the rest of the league. It's what skill is available in the free agency market. So I broke them up into 3 tiers. My bottom tier guys, we can just skin over them real quick. So I got Miles Bridges, 26, Tyus Jones, 28, Gary Trent, 25, and then Nick Claxton, he's also 25. A lot of young guys, provide a lot of good bench depth.
Claxton had a good year.
He had a pretty good year, yeah. I put him in tier 3. He was kind of a tier 3, tier 2 kind of guy, borderline for me.
That's what I thought about Bridges.
Yeah, I think Bridges can get there too. It's just, got to cut them off somewhere, and kind of, I think they have a few places that they can kind of develop and get a little bit better at before they can maybe jump into that tier 2 of guys that's left. But these guys can kind of provide a lot of depth, a lot of good minutes for a team. So, and then tier 2 is kind of where we get into more of the well-known guys. So I listed these guys as like solid starters or great bench depth guys that can really kind of shift the team a certain way. So a lot of these guys, some of these guys are, early 30s or late 20s. Hartenstein from the Knicks.
Another guy that had a great year last year.
Great year. I actually wanted Chicago to get him.
His energy is phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Sounds like a hockey player.
Like a Steven Adams.
He could be a hockey player.
Yeah.
He could be. He's massive.
Yeah, he's a great player, great hustler, great guy to have on any team, really. He can fit in pretty much anywhere. Contavious Caldwell-Pope, another great depth guy from the Nuggets. Seen him kind of help lead in that championship run that they had 2 years ago.
Do you think he stays in Denver?
I think they could definitely benefit from him being in Denver.
Yeah.
They need depth.
He's got to be a little better than he was this year, I think.
Yeah, I think so. They're really struggling for depth. I mean, if they had just one injury to one of their key guys, Caldwell-Pope had to step up.
Right.
And if they had 2 injuries, it was over with.
Yeah,
so they need to retain some of that depth. Malik Monk, he's another name out of Sacramento. He's
athlete.
Yeah, great athlete. Can kind of fill it up in different spurts of the games. Would be a great piece for pretty much any team that really needs a guy that can kind of fill it up in different moments of the game. I know he's kind of linked a little bit towards like Orlando needing somebody like him. I think he'd fit in kind of well with him, with them. And then another guy, Klay Thompson, tier 2 guy. Really kind of
had a bad year.
Definitely had a bad elimination game.
There. I mean, it's not like it's an outlier year, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is kind of where he's at.
It sure feels like it seems like he feels like that, doesn't it? He seems so frustrated with his gameplay.
I think he would be in a great situation if they can make him, if he buys into it as a 6th man, and if he is hot that game, let him run as many minutes as he can, and fill it up. But I think he'd be another one for Orlando that needs that kind of scoring.
Wow.
Like I said, if he's hot, throw him in, keep him in, and you can rely on him. He's got that championship DNA to kind of help you get through those crunch time minutes.
That's a great point. Orlando could be a nice home for him.
Yeah. And then got also Tobias Harris, D'Angelo Russell, and then Chris Paul at 39.
Yeah.
I can't believe you got CP3 on the tier 2.
Yeah. And now,
just a veteran head, is that why?
Yes, that is strictly it.
It's not the skill anymore.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking for a guy that can run an offense. He's not going to be sprinting up and down the floor for 10 minutes at a time. He's going to go
3 minutes at this point.
Yeah, he's going to go at his own pace.
My kind of basketball.
He's going to go at his own pace. He's going to run the offense how he wants to run it. So if he gets into a system that works, he can be a nice backup point guard that can really mentor somebody.
So you mentioned 2 other guys. You mentioned D'Angelo Russell and who was the second?
Tobias Harris.
Tobias Harris. Are the 76ers ready to move on from Tobias Harris, you think? Are they looking to do you think Daryl Morey, do you think they're looking to retain him?
So I think they have a lot of money to spend.
Yeah.
I would say that's kind of playing into my tier 1 guy that's up there.
Yeah,
that they might be looking at.
Keep all those guys under your sleeve for just a moment, too, by the way.
I've already announced that a couple shows ago. So
what's that?
What's that?
Well, I'll let you get to the tier 1 guy, but I've already announced who I think is going to the.
Yeah, well, if he doesn't get re-signed there, I think they have a play in one of these other guys in tier 1.
Very interesting. I'm sure it's not James Harden. D'Angelo Russell. I thought he had a good year for Laker fans. I thought he coming off the finals last year, not real high hopes for him. There were games where he was lights out. Does he stay in LA? Do you think he finds another new home?
I don't know. I mean, I thought he played well. He's kind of hit or miss, though.
He is.
Not really too consistent, but when he's on, he has some stretches where he's on.
Yeah.
But then again, the Lakers don't really have that many assets they can work with, and
Right.
I don't think they have that much money to work with either, with trying to keep LeBron and AD with the amount of money that they're going to be calling for.
Right.
So I think if they can try and keep him, they probably will.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not really sure there's too many other names on the market that's going to be filling those needs that they really need.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me if he goes back to the Lakers.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, hey, I'm going to let you get to that tier 1. You know what I mean? Those A1 top tier folks. But I'm going to need you to hang on to them for just a moment. You're listening to the 740 Sports Show live on Fox Sports Radio, 105.3 WYPC Jackson.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom! I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
When you take a walk around your neighborhood and notice all the things that make it feel like home, one thing might be a little harder to notice, because somewhere tucked in that neat row of houses is hunger. Over 30 million Americans don't know where their next meal is coming from. Together, we can provide 1 billion meals by 2030, because everyone should be welcome at the table. Learn more at nourishingneighbors.com. Let's break the cycle of hunger together.
Anyone can choose to make a difference. You can help people succeed, rebuild after disasters, protect the environment, or feed the hungry. Not only will you make a difference for others, but for yourself. You can earn money for college, learn career skills, and make friendships that last a lifetime. Make a difference. Choose your future. Choose AmeriCorps.
Everyone knows texting while driving is a recipe for disaster. But other forms of distracted driving, like changing the radio station, putting on makeup, or talking with a passenger, can be just as dangerous. This is Trooper Malone with the Ohio State Highway Patrol. Every time someone takes their eyes or focus off the road, even just for a few seconds, they put their life and lives of others in danger. Distracted driving is unsafe and the consequences can be devastating. Help us drive to save lives. Never drive distracted.
Weather is brought to you today by Carmen's Used Cars and Trucks, where you won't want to miss the hot deals like this 2013 Ford F-150 Extended Cab Automatic with V8. It's only $17,995 at Carmen's in Jackson. We're expecting another hot one today as the area remains under that heat advisory through 8 p.m. Saturday. Sunshine with temperatures climbing up to around 94. Then tonight, mostly clear. Lows will be around 70. More of the same for your Friday. Sunny and hot, highs near 96. Those heat index values tomorrow afternoon climbing up to close to 100.
Fox Sports 105.3 WYPC Jackson. It's Eric, it's Bubba, and it's Rob here. We got the 7-4 Sports Show going on here, and we are joined by our senior basketball guy, Andrew Brown. And he's here with us, and we are talking about this year's offseason free agents. And we're going to be talking about the NBA draft upcoming as well in just a moment. But Brown, right now, you are looking to get to your A-tier off-season free agents. So you talked about some big top-notch guys already, kind of your tier 2, tier 3 guys. What do you have in store for us for tier 1? Because I can tell you right now, Bub's got all of his best 2K players lined up ready to go.
Yeah, mine is solely based off of how I would pick them if I was like the owner of a 2K team.
You know, I just respect you telling us that during the break. Brown was kind of peeking over there at your notes.
Yeah, Brown thought I had like a crazy
Brown
algorithm to it. No,
yeah.
I just 2K association.
Yeah, Brown was looking for Coach Klein's playbook.
Kirk Heinrich wasn't on there,
and unfortunately, it was more of a Coach Mike Leach scheme when he left the fake 10-play script behind. But anyway, Brown, you've got your top 3 guys or top tier of guys. I'm looking forward to seeing how that compares to Bubba's tier of guys as well.
Well, I just looked at Bub's notes, and he has Angel Reese as tier 3 on this NBA list.
She wouldn't even make it. Not with that shooting percentage.
Oh, man. I thought for a moment, Bub, I was looking at you. I was concerned.
I mean, they do have the WNBA on the 2K games now, right? I haven't played one in a couple years.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
I didn't put a single WNBA player on my tier list.
Okay.
Their season's still going on. I don't know the free agents. So.
Fair enough. Brown?
Now, I will preface this by saying some of these guys are left out, but this list is only unrestricted and people that have player options that are likely going to opt out of those and either get a new contract at their current team or elsewhere. So some of these players are left off, notably Tyrese Maxey, like you were asking off air.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely going back to the
100%.
Daryl Moore's not letting that guy escape. They're going to build around him.
So for tier 1, I've got kind of contenders or wannabe contenders. These teams trying to make a move on some of these players that maybe either keep them in contention or take them up the next level of contention. And so for the first one, I've got DeMar DeRozan, 34, playing with Chicago.
Yep.
It's kind of hard to tell as a Bulls fan. I don't know what direction they're going to go. I just saw a report a couple days ago that they weren't interested in trading one of their players in Caruso, which is telling me that they're probably going to see how Lonzo is doing, if he's maybe able to come back in, and then kind of giving that team a run again to see how they're going to shape up. So we'll see. Could be a guy that they end up re-signing and then just trading to the asset.
Did you say run again? I thought it was like since the 90s the Bulls had any type of run.
Well,
the Joakim Noah and D Rose, is that
2011? That was a great run. And if D Rose didn't get hurt either, I think
if a frog had wings, it wouldn't bump his butt.
Well, he said butt.
I don't know. I gotta be professional.
PG.
Hey, Bub, you forgot your tie today. I'm just kidding.
My business suit.
Your business suit, Bub. All right,
so,
as we were.
Yeah, I mean, DeMar, it depends on that team. I think they'll probably re-sign him and then see where they're going, maybe halfway through the season, maybe explore trade options after that. So the next one, OG, obviously.
Outlier, the young guy.
The young guy. I think he's a tier 1 guy. 1, because of his age, 2, because of his versatility, his two-way ability. The Knicks, I think, they're absolutely going to keep him. I think they'll try and re-sign him. I don't think he's going to go anywhere.
Yeah, I think when Brunson went down a little bit in that series against the Sixers, and then OG stepped up, super good athlete. I mean, he got a lot of balance, great defender.
Yeah, was really able to
like
kind of really able to showcase kind of the full package whenever they had to kind of rely on playmaking, scoring, and defense from him. So
do you think they try to retain him and Hartenstein?
I think they're going to try and retain him first, and then Hartenstein is going to be an afterthought. If they have the money, I think they'll definitely want to retain him. I mean, I know they have Mitchell Robinson.
Still got Julius Randle under
Julius
contract
Randle,
as well.
Yeah.
He obviously coming back from an injury.
Yeah. I think, don't get me wrong, those two guys, Randall and Mitchell, great players, but very injury prone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think it's key that they keep Hartenstein. So we'll see.
Yeah. Time will tell.
The other guy I had listed, we already talked about yesterday, was Siakam. Already signed a deal, but I felt like it was worth noting that he was kind of a tier 1 guy prior to re-signing, that he should be somebody that they should go after and sign, and they did.
Yeah.
And then James Harden, I've got tier 1. I know it's kind of hard
My 2K list is not happy with you on that one.
I know it might be a little hard to believe. He's 34. He's had some ups and downs. But I think he's still shown enough on the Clippers to warrant. He's probably going to get close to a max contract.
Ooh.
I know people are going to hate that. I know you're going to hate it probably at the last 2 years of that deal.
Ooh.
But like we were talking yesterday, you're not going to talk somebody like James Harden into taking a short-term deal and keep him.
Do you think the Clippers are a true contender in the West with him on their squad?
If they retain the guys that they have,
Paul George and Kawhi, of course.
I think if they retain the guys that they have, plus stay healthy, plus add some bench depth.
Yeah, they got to get better. If you just stay neutral, they're going to get hosed again in the West. The West is too tough.
Yes,
it's
too
a
tough.
gauntlet.
Yep.
They got to get better somewhere.
They need a lot of help with retaining their guys, injuries, and getting depth. I think it's a lot for them to overcome. I don't think keeping James Harden is going to necessarily matter, but they're also not going to let him ride off in the sunset with another team, even after them building a brand new gym. So
yeah.
Still got to be able to play in that gym.
Yeah. So
it's true.
My second guy here on the list I had was Paul George.
This is another one.
So this is the guy I was talking about with when you asked me about Tobias Harris.
Yeah.
I think that if they feel like they have a really good shot at getting him, which I think they do, they'll probably try and get Paul George.
76ers?
Yeah, the 76ers, sorry. They'll probably try and get Paul George and then let Tobias Harris go because they're kind of filling the same gaps.
I mean, that's a
great move, great improvement. I think George has a chance to go to the Sixers. I think a dark horse team would probably be the Magic as well. I know the Magic are on a lot of these kind of people's radars.
Get back to the Pacers? Like maybe make one run with Halliburton. You know, you got Shepard in there, Miles Turner.
It's possible. I mean, they have a lot of really good depth. I'm not really sure what their cap situation is. I don't know if they can afford
they have
him.
him on young contracts there, right? Like Halliburton's not on his second.
Yeah,
contract
I
yet.
would.
Yeah, he is.
Well, yeah, Halliburton got extended.
That's
last
right.
year.
Yeah,
5 years, 285 or 275.
Even then, who's your other big contract?
So you got Halliburton, then you got Siakam that just
that's
re-signed,
right,
and then Miles Turner is probably on a decent contract as well.
Him as a Pacer. I don't know why. Siakam's always just a Raptor.
Well, he will be for 4 more years.
Yeah.
At least 2. We'll give him 2, maybe.
But yeah, so I mean, I have some of these guys going to the Magic because Magic are really only like a scorer or 2 guys away from really making a nice run. I mean, I thought they had a really good year this year with all the youth that they have and some of the additions that they made. So I think if they added Paul George, it'd make a huge difference.
Still got Plumlee.
Of course, you're only worried about the Duke guys.
I was curious if he was still in the Magic.
I'm going to be honest. I don't remember. I don't know if he is.
I think he is.
He's the second best center on the Magic. Then is Wagner a center or Wagner, however you say it?
Mo Wagner. He's more of a forward.
I was going to say forward.
Also sounds like a hockey player.
They've got Wendell Carter, kind of a nice young guy.
On the list. Is he restricted? Is that why?
He might be restricted. Yeah, like I said, all these guys.
If he was unrestricted, would you put him at the tier 2, tier 3?
Mo?
Yeah, I personally think he's tier 2.
I would say he's
tier 2, high tier 3.
Well, I would probably put him borderline tier 1, tier 2, just because of his youth. I know he's kind of had some ups and downs, but that's kind of a given with the young
franchise
guys
in general. I mean,
yeah, and they're trying to figure out their direction as well. So I think he would be right on that borderline, mainly because of his youth and kind of the upside that you would be looking at. And then the last guy I have is LeBron.
Yeah,
age 39. I mean,
why is he the last guy? I'm just curious. Is it because he's the best free agent available?
Yes.
Okay. I was just making sure at age 39, that's what you were saying.
Yes.
That's all.
He is definitely the best free agent available. I don't care
and he
what.
attracts the most free agents to your team as well. So.
Yep. Drives the most kind of viewership, sales.
Basically
he
runs the
brings
whole
everything.
organization without getting paid for it.
Yeah, he's still the face of the NBA at 39 years old, and that's crazy.
I'm just waiting for Rob to chime
still
in
crazy.
on LeBron. You ready?
Who?
If it ain't Duke, he ain't talking about it, brother.
Yeah, if it ain't Mason Plumlee or
Mason Plumlee.
I'm gonna. I didn't have Mason Plumlee on my bingo card today. I was not expecting to be asked about
we
Mason.
did ask for random athletes.
We did ask
names
for random athletes,
the other
so
day.
we've decided we're going to close the show with a random athlete's name.
Okay.
And just to make
not active.
Yeah,
Not
non-active random athlete.
Okay.
And then he throws
So get to
Mason
thinking
Plumlee
later.
I've got one already.
Okay, well you can't tell us now.
All right, that's
it's not,
fine.
It's not the right time.
That's fine.
It's got to wait. But anyway, LeBron, obviously the guy. Him and Bronny are definitely going.
Yeah, and that's the big storyline. I mean, the Lakers. I saw another report yesterday. They were talking about that if the Lakers wanted to draft Bronny, that wouldn't have much of a say in where LeBron's going to go. I find that pretty hard to believe.
Yeah, I kind of.
Imagine you just let your kid go to LA and you leave.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey, I'm going to Philly.
There's still actual people who want to draft him in the NBA. I don't know that he makes it on a WNBA team.
he's going to make it on a team. It's just a matter of where he's going to be drafted.
Does he make it on a team because of his play?
You think he gets drafted or you think he gets picked up in the...
He's going to be drafted.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. I think he's probably looking at, depending on how desperate teams are to maybe trying to bring LeBron in, I think it's probably a late first rounder or
If I was a betting man, I'd put $5
That is
doesn't get
amazing to
drafted.
me
Really?
that someplace like the NBA would tarnish their name by drafting someone not as good as most other players just to try to get their father on their team.
You watch baseball that they just inject steroids for 10 years at a time.
That was a long time ago, bub. And baseball was great then.
Baseball was phenomenal.
It was
Everybody
fun.
wanted to watch
Everyone
Yeah.
loved baseball more then. I mean, that's not a great
Still
argument.
an integrity breaker.
I'm not saying integrity. I'm just
I
saying
can
like
assure
the
you,
guys-
9-year-old
Why don't we
me,
just put corks in the bat then? Bring that
9-year-old
back.
me did not care about how on the juice Mark McGuire was.
Yeah, I tuned in to watch Barry Bonds hit, and then
Yeah.
I would.
I just started
watch
doing a
something
lot
else.
of curls.
If you've seen the Cardinals against the Cubs, you're tuning in for the
100%.
Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire,
The home run
duel,
race.
Man,
It's what
It was a great time. I mean,
And you watch like 3 pitches.
The
and you're
90
like, I gotta go watch something else.
Yeah.
Sports society really peaked so hard in the 90s. Like it really did.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, the uniforms, the players, like
All of it.
names.
and they're
all
bringing
of
the
it.
uniforms back. too,
everything's
to a
making its
certain
way
degree.
full circle.
everything honestly gets recycled. Like we talked to, that one show, everything's in a circle. It
Well-
always finds itself back.
Yeah.
Yeah, well now they're making Super Bowl entertainment for people our age. It's just kind of crazy to me that we're now the demographic.
Yeah.
We're,
Yeah, we
we're
get the
them.
M&Ms and 50
Yep.
cents at the halftime show.
Yeah,
Love that halftime show.
We are them. That was a great one. That was a great one. So great, in fact, that tell me another one afterwards.
Oh, hang on, what's her name?
Usher
Shakira
this
one.
year.
Shakira. I remember that one.
Usher this year.
Nobody remembers.
I wasn't really that big of a fan of the Usher one.
Usher is the most overrated dancer of all time.
Wow, there it was, bub.
I'm
Hot
gonna say
take
it.
on a
I'm gonna
hot
say
day.
it.
Hot
I've had
take.
that thought for probably 5 years now.
Wow.
I've never just critiqued Usher's dancing.
Well, you shouldn't right now. You should feel more than confident to do it.
No.
Bub evidently has gone down that wormhole on YouTube a time or two.
Yeah, he's a phony. They just cut on the music videos. They just cut to him doing the same dance move. It's not impressive.
I would kill
Could you do it?
for a dance
No,
off.
but I'm not a dancer.
I need a dance off between Bubba and Usher in my life, man.
Oh, I'd show him up. I'd do the Scotty Too Hottie,
Oh my gosh.
the Worm.
Bubba's going to start doing every dance move he learned in WWE as a kid.
I want to see him do the worm.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Well, not today.
You should
said
see him do the
because-
splits.
No, it's got to be Usher in front of me.
Bub can hit the
I don't just
splits.
break it out
we
for
can
anyone.
play on the radio and watch you.
No, I'm not. Usher's got to be right here in front of me. Otherwise, I can't do it.
Tune in next time.
All right, maybe yeah. Tune in next time, Bum versus Usher. Brown, anything else you'd like to throw in on this topic before we move on here?
No, not really. I mean, there's a lot of notable names.
I do like how you put wannabe contenders because I do think Paul George and James Harden should both be declared wannabe contenders.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty fitting.
Like, I had Paul George at tier 3.
Well, let's hear
and
your
Harden
tiers.
at tier 4.
Let's see your tiers.
Well, my tiers,
your
like I
2K
said, it's
tiers.
based off of 2K tiers. Maxey, athlete. I know you didn't include him because he's going back to Philly, obviously. But if I was playing with Maxey on 2K, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Quick point guard. LBJ. Everybody knows how to play with LBJ on 2K. Just dunk and shoot.
Yeah, you've had
Space
2
the floor
decades
and
of
dunk.
experience with it.
DeRozan at tier 2, though. I feel like you were a little shocked by that. I don't think I would play with DeRozan much, but then I was like, he's a slasher. You know, he can dunk a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's all I can really do on 2K
He still has the
anymore,
ability
so.
to take a game into his hands too.
Oh, absolutely.
He did several times this year. As hard as it is for me to say that.
Yeah, and that's why I kept him in tier 1. I mean, his age, obviously 34, but he has taken over games last year and the year before. I mean, he's still shown that he can prove it, like night in and night out if he needs to.
Yeah.
It's just, is he the guy to get you the chip?
No, I mean he's not the lead guy. I mean Kobe White is a nice little piece for them. I like Kobe White. I think he's a scorer. I don't know that he's the lead guy either. I think Chicago's still got to figure that out.
They
And
gotta
I think
draft
with Lonzo
better.
coming back, that'll give them the opportunity to figure out if that guy's in your hands already.
Yeah, they do have to draft better. I mean, it's tough that they've been mediocre for years.
Yeah.
I mean, since Derrick Rose went down, they've been
tired
mediocre
of
after
pulling their
that.
rookie cards.
I mean,
They all suck.
they've picked like 7th, 8th for the last few years. It's hard to get better whenever you're picking 7 and 8, but that's no excuse. You've
Yeah.
got to find the talent
Well, I was
where you're
talking
picking.
about the Steelers finishing mediocre, middle of the pack every year. Not mediocre, but middle of the pack and getting that 16, 17 draft pick. That's annoying. Like,
Yeah.
your chances obviously diminish a little bit, but you still have plenty of opportunity to hit in the draft in the NFL.
Yeah.
NBA is a lot tougher. Like, once the top 5 guys are done, you're fighting to find that star.
And you only get 2 rounds.
Yeah.
You only get 2 rounds of action, and we're going to be back here in just a moment to talk about the upcoming NBA draft to wrap up our basketball talk for the day. You're listening to the 740 Sports Show live on Fox Sports Radio, 105.3 WYPC Jackson.
This just in.
The Telegram News has a new website.
TheTelegramNews.com.
Same dedicated coverage.
Same trustworthy news with a brand new look.
Covering Jackson and Benton counties and surrounding areas.
Locally owned and operated, TheTelegramNews.com has its finger on the pulse of the community.
Stay up to date on local events, high school sports, and breaking news.
TheTelegramNews.com.
Subscribe today at TheTelegramNews.com.
Check it out.
Native American children. Many live in poverty and face some very tough days. But they also have great days. And the days they love most, they happen here at St. Joseph's Indian School.
I love learning with my friends, playing music, lunchtime, math. And speaking of math, here are some awesome numbers.
96% of St. Joseph's Indian School students graduate high school. That's 10% higher than the national average. For almost 100 years, St. Joe's has been giving Native American children days they love and educating them for life. Learn more at stjo.org today.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Why? Why do we ignore the things that give us pause, that seem out of place, that don't feel right? The answer to why defines who we are. So if you see something, why do you say something?
I see safe for my friends.
For my community.
For my family.
For each other. Because all of this matters. We all have something worth protecting. So why do you see safe? Report suspicious activity to local authorities. If you see something, say something.
Fox Sports Radio 105.3 WYPC Jackson. We're broadcasting live today from Stockroom 601 in Jackson. So come on down here. We're going to have trivia here in just a little bit, starting at 7 p.m. We'll be out of here by then. But come on down anyway. Good food and great drinks locally. And we're back here on the 740 Sports Show. And Brown, nice to have you back here. A little bathroom break. Ran us a little bit short through the break there. But I got senior basketball guy. I got senior basketball guy Andrew Brown with us here, and of course we got Bub and Rob with us, and we're gonna move things forward just a little bit here. NBA draft is coming up, but we're gonna hot wheel it and look back at baseball last night and kind of get things moving forward here with today's MLB action. Of course, last night the Braves shut out the Detroit Tigers 7-0. The Reds fell 1-0 to the Pirates for the second time in that series. The Cardinals fell 4-3 against the Marlins. The Phillies fell 5-2 versus the Padres. The Cubs won 6-5. I'm sorry, over the San Francisco Giants. The Nationals defeated the Diamondbacks 3-1, and the Guardians I want to say Indians every time. Every single time. The Guardians shut out the Mariners 8-0. The Yankees, thank goodness, lost an extra inning 7-6 to the Orioles. Sorry about that, Rob, but we'd love to see it here.
They'll get them back today.
I'm sure that I do believe that they will. I think you're right.
You got Gil back on the mound.
You're a Yankees fan?
Yes.
Of course you are.
Bro, Cowboys,
you're
Yankees,
the worst
Duke
type of
basketball.
person.
Let me take that back. I don't know that I'm fully a Yankees fan.
You got some Red Sox in you too?
No, I'm a Derek Jeter fan. I was strictly a Derek.
Well, he's not on the team anymore.
O'Neal.
Would you say you're a die-easy Yankees fan instead of a die-hard?
Who?
Die-easy instead of a die-hard Yankees fan?
You know what a die-hard fan is, Rob?
I do.
You know what a die-easy fan?
Sure don't.
Kind of like a half fan?
Okay.
One that just looks over the fence, not sitting on it or anything, and not on the other side either.
I can't look over any fence.
It's fair as well. Well, Rob, notably the Yankees lost yesterday. You're saying they're going to get them back today. I did look at that game a little earlier. We're going to check that out here in just a bit.
Yeah, they're actually on right now. They're down 1-0.
Ooh, okay. All right, Rob. Picturing a comeback here. The Red Sox on the other side of the AL East won yesterday against the Toronto Blue Jays by a score of 7-3. The Rays defeated the Twins 3-2. The Mets fell to the Rangers by a score of 5-3. The Chicago White Sox that Rob loves so much here recently fell 4-1 over the Astros, and the Rockies defeated the NL West leading Dodgers 7-6. The Brewers won 2-0 over the Angels. And then 5-1, the Athletics got a rare win over the Royals. Rob, looking forward to today. A lot of baseball going on. You mentioned it. The Yankees are down 1-0 right now, top of the second in that one. What else we got going on in the MLB right now, Rob?
Right now you have, already finished on the day. The Diamondbacks beat the Nationals 5-2, and the Guardians beat the Mariners 6-3.
All right.
Currently you got going on Tampa Bay Rays in the bottom of the 10th. Up 7-6 on the Twins.
Free baseball in Minnesota.
Yeah, free baseball. They got a runner on second with no out. It's looking to tie it up in the bottom.
You hear that, Bub? A sport you don't have to pay for on the TV.
I can't get behind baseball. Like I've said time and time again,
Okay.
any sport where you can get hit with the ball 90 miles per hour and you can't throw it back at them, I'm not behind.
I'll tell you what, you can charge the mound.
Yeah, you definitely can.
Bubba,
I'll take the baseball bat with me.
Bubba wouldn't, but you could charge the mound. Also, Bub, worth noting, if you want to, you don't have to watch free baseball. You can keep paying over $500 for Sunday ticket.
That's fine. I would much rather pay money to watch football than not pay money to watch baseball.
Wow, strong words.
I am not. I can't get behind. I watch 3 pitches and I'm like, okay, what do I got to do now? Like,
I gotta get you to a Reds
Is it
game.
the same as like for the World Series or anything? Would you?
I don't know. I don't. I've
You
never,
say that, but
it's just been. I used to like it.
If we took you to a Reds game and you got to watch Ellie De La Cruz perform live, I promise you your perspective of baseball would change. To watch that guy in person.
What's the price of beer at a Reds baseball game?
Probably the same as at a Bengals game, $6-7, I'd guess.
I would think.
See, it's not, to me, that's not, no. It's not right.
If you
I'll
do
pay
it-
more for the Bengals game because they've actually been to the playoffs and done something in the last, 5 years.
Only in the last 5 years. Anyways,
Other happenings in the MLB. Bub's sweating again.
I mean, the Cowboys haven't done anything in the last 25.
Facts.
I'm going to let you guys talk about it if you want.
Anyways, we've got the Astros beating the White Sox right now, 5-3. One of the teams I would have taken in my parlay, however, they're already playing, so no one's going to believe me. The Dodgers beating the Colorado Rockies.
So we should have touched on this earlier, is what you're saying.
There's not many games left.
He would have picked all the teams that were winning right now.
Yeah.
So,
it's like when I ask my kids who's going to win. Who's winning now? It's the way it is.
You got the Royals beating the Athletics 2-0, and now at the top of the second, something crazy must have happened. You have the Yankees losing 3-0.
Something crazy must have happened. Wow, the Yankees are
also
losing
would have
again
been
today.
losing that game. And if we want to go ahead and get it out of the road, since there's only 2 games remaining in today's slate,
I mean, we may as well go into it, right?
I'll pick one of those games and give you my.
Wait, hang on. We need the folks to know what's going on. And
Yeah.
right now, we're segueing into our degenerate gambling segment known as If I Was a Betting Man, where we tell you what we would do with $20 if we had $20. But since we don't have $20, we certainly can't gamble with $20, right, Rob?
Correct. And if I had $20, I would have placed a bet earlier today because, as we discussed, most of the games have already started or have finished. With only 2 games remaining to start, you have the San Francisco Giants going into the Cardinals as favorites. And then tonight at 9:40, you got the Brewers as underdogs.
It's every time, Rob.
It doesn't matter who says Brewers on this show.
I wasn't going to say anything, but I got it.
Every time I got to laugh
Milwaukee. You got Milwaukee.
That's the
There you
solution
go.
every time.
Milwaukee against the Padres. Milwaukee as the underdog, and I'm actually going to take them as my ain't no doubt play of the day as underdogs.
Dogs.
Wow.
So I'm really risking that 3-0, 3 for 3.
For a team you can't even pronounce.
A very notable record. Rob is 9-1 in his selection. So if you have $20, it might be worth lending an ear to this fella.
If I had $20, I'm going to take it, and I'm going to do the ain't no doubt on the Brewers as underdogs going into
Nailed it.
That was the cleanest.
That was the best one you've
That
had.
was the cleanest
So
it's
do I
been.
need to slow it down to Brewers?
Yeah, or open your mouth a little bit.
It's open, bub.
Say
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Yeah,
perfect. So yes, I'm going
Brewers.
to go with the Milwaukee Brewers as underdogs here. If I had $20, I'd put it on Wilson on the mound, 4-3, 3.84 ERA on the season.
That concludes today's degenerate gambling segment known as If I Was a Betting Man. Rob, thank you for your picks, your time, your efforts, and all that you do. I love it.
I'm glad somebody does.
I love it. You've been on a hot streak here. It's been hot in the 7-4-0, and you mentioned it. A lot of happenings going on in the MLB right now. Rob, you are a Yankees fan. They are down 3-0. I don't foresee the Yankees getting back into this one today, but no sweat. Yanks have been playing pretty good baseball here lately.
Yeah, they have. And as I'm looking at it now, the Orioles, they've already got a runner on bases for the 3rd inning, so it's looking like it's only going to get worse for the day.
We absolutely love to see it. Of course, the Reds are off tonight. They return home tomorrow against the Boston Red Sox for interleague play. I always love interleague play. Rob, my favorite team in the AL traditionally has been the Red Sox.
Okay.
So I got to give you a hard time about
sorry.
it to some degree.
Yep.
It's okay. No sweat. But as a kid, this was like my dream matchup. You know what I mean? When your 2 favorite AL League teams are playing. Of course, I keep an eye on the Indians as well because they're my local AL team.
Guardians.
The Guardians. Sorry, you're right. Thank you, Aaron. If you want to do other names,
Not the
we
government
can do that.
name.
I'm just trying to keep you in line here.
I appreciate it. I
Yeah, my
appreciate
government name.
it. Correct me on games. I'll do this. No, yeah, I always love those matchups. Was there any, like, Rob, for you being a Yankees fan, was there any interleague teams you used to love watching your teams play?
The Red Sox. I loved watching.
No, I'm sorry, interleague. Like, is there anyone that the Yankees traditionally
same
didn't play?
league.
Not the same division that
okay,
they play 30 times a year.
You know what? No, not really. There wasn't really one that stuck out to me that I like seeing. I mean, they pretty much beat everybody.
Have you ever caught the Yankees at like Great American or anything like that?
I have not. I've only watched the Reds play once in my life. That's the only MLB game I've ever seen. Maybe twice.
Okay.
Definitely once. I've not been able to. I would love to see the Yankees play in Yankee Stadium. That'd be sweet.
That'd be sick. Yeah.
Or even see him here playing the Reds. That'd be awesome as well.
Yeah, that'd be cool to see Aaron Judge play live. I mean, he's going to go down as a legend, dude. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I really enjoyed the Red Sox when they went on that run with Manny Ramirez and David Ortiz and those big personalities. Bubba mentioned Dustin Pedroia and all that. This would have been really cool for me like 15 years ago. You know what I mean? When all those guys were still active. But the Reds are fun baseball right now. They're not great baseball by any means, but they're fun baseball. Of course, we were talking about Ellie De La Cruz. We got to go to a Reds game. We got to see this guy play.
Before they ship
I
him
watched
off
him last year.
Would you rather have Ellie or Judge?
Right now, I'm taking Ellie. I feel like he's definitely more versatile.
Okay. So Rob's going with Ellie. I mean, if I'm building around one of the guys today, I mean, he's got the rocket arm. He's fast. He's got to figure it out a little bit at the plate.
I feel like
but he gets
Judge
on
is always
base.
hurt.
Yeah.
Always hurt.
That's true. He got hit by a pitch last night. He's hurt, isn't he? Got hit on the hand
Did
or
you throw
something?
it back at him?
Oh, you're talking about Mookie Betts, I believe, from the Dodgers. He
Oh,
did get
okay.
hit on the
I thought
hand.
Aaron Judge
Broke
got
his
hit.
hand.
Okay.
So that's
So probably didn't charge him out, I would.
what Bub's point. He got
Which
hit with a
hand?
90-mile-an-hour fastball and couldn't do nothing about it because he broke his hand.
Yeah, that's no fun.
Got another one.
Hey, one might be broken, but you can throw the other one. We're going to take just another quick break here, and we'll be right back to talk more of what you love best, sports here on the 740 Sports Show. You're listening to Fox Sports Radio 105.3 WYPC Jackson.
Hey, son, how are you feeling?
I'm fine, Pops.
What's on your mind?
I can't explain it. Navigating without a compass. Metamorphosis, the loss of who you thought you was.
When your kid can't find the language, help them find the lyrics. Listen to the Sound It Out album and get tips and tools to start a conversation at sounditouttogether.org.
And we know it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please, go West.
Help and a lot of work that you can overcome any challenge.
DAV helps veterans like Adam get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year in life-changing ways.
I know that some struggles are big and some are small, but they're all struggles, and you have to learn to get through them. With support from DAV, more veterans like me can live their best life. And as a new father, I have one more reason to keep on keeping on. My victory is being there for the next generation.
Adam Alexander, may your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Hey, life doesn't stop when cancer starts. After diagnosis, treatment is vital. But for some, just getting there, to appointments, chemo, or radiation, is a major challenge. You can change that. Volunteer to give rides with the American Cancer Society Road to Recovery program. Driving for a few hours of your day can make a life-saving difference for someone with cancer. Visit cancer.org/drive to learn more.
Weather is brought to you today by Carmen's Used Cars and Trucks, where you won't want to miss the hot deals like this 2013 Ford F-150 Extended Cab Automatic with V8. It's only $17,995 at Carmen's in Jackson. We're expecting another hot one today as the area remains under that heat advisory through 8 p.m. Saturday. Sunshine with temperatures climbing up to around 94. Then tonight, mostly clear. Lows will be around 70. More of the same for your Friday. Sunny and hot, highs near 96. Those heat index values tomorrow afternoon climbing up to close to 100.
It's another fast and furious college season.
What a play!
Every game is important.
Unbelievable!
Terrific competition, exciting.
This place goes crazy!
This is Fox Sports Radio. W287CZ 105.3 FM Jackson. Serving Jackson and Vinton counties.
Fox Sports Radio, 105.3 WIPC Jackson. You're listening to the 740 Sports Show, broadcasting live from Stockroom 601. It's Thursday night. It's a hot one here in the 740, and it's also trivia night here. So if you and that brain of yours want to bring it down to Stockroom 601, we'd love to hang out with you. We're going to be here till 6. Trivia night, hosted by Lori Graves, local comedian. She's hilarious. She always puts on a great show. She's going to be here kicking that one off at 7 p.m. But for right now, you're stuck with me. It's Eric here, along with my longtime brother, Bub, and our lifelong friend, Rob, and our senior basketball guy, who's also a great friend. Baron, you're also a great friend.
We
just gave you a title.
Yeah. I like the title, though.
Yeah, but we're still working on Rob's. We got degenerate.
So don't let your head.
Well, what would Rob's be?
Degenerate gambler.
Okay.
Yeah. So, if he had $20.
And I'm going to bet that if I was to stick around for trivia night tonight, I would lose for sure.
I also take the field versus Rob in trivia night, 100%.
What's the topic tonight for trivia? Do we know?
Trivia.
That's a guess. Got a guess.
It's a trivia
What is it, Bub?
I'm gonna say countries that start with the letter R. I don't know.
Okay.
What are we in Jeopardy?
We don't
Other
know.
than Russia, I couldn't tell you one.
We don't know, but hey, if there is, maybe someone around here can give us some info, and we'll get some info, and we'll pass that along to the listeners here. That way, all three of you can know exactly what's going on here at the Stockroom. But for now, right now, boys and girls, we're back, and we're talking about the Travelers Championship that tees off today. And boys, coming off the heels of a crazy, wild U.S. Open last week, the Travelers should be something to look forward to today, and it's already teed off. It's already going on, boys and girls. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, DeChambeau winning that tournament last week, the U.S. Open over at Pinehurst #2. So we get another great week of golf coming in to play. A lot of good names. Will Zalatoris in the tournament, Scotty Scheffler. Kim leading the way at -8 right now through 18. Pretty good round for him. Ricky Fowler up there at second at -6. Like I said, Zalatoris at -6, Scheffler at -5, so he's sitting there at 6. Final's in the hunt.
Yeah.
A lot of big names playing in this tournament again.
Yeah.
So, is DeChambeau in there?
Are you saying Scheffler?
Scheffler. Am I saying Scheffler?
You're saying Scheffler.
Adam Schefter?
I think was Schauffele around there too? Okay, no.
Neither of them have a T in it.
Wow. Yeah, Scheffler.
Samson.
Maybe it's silent.
I was
silent T.
And Burr is bad. So.
You're saying are you saying 4 R's in it, Burr?
You're saying it like you're cold, Rob.
No, a good
Anyway.
tournament. I haven't read much about the course this week. What holes are difficult? What kind of it plays like or anything?
Yeah.
Seems like it's a pretty easy course. The first round at -8. Me and
Yeah.
Rob talking about this last time. We don't like the courses that are go shoot -30 for the week and that's how
Right.
you win.
Yeah.
I would
Right.
like to see under 10 win for the week, but it seems like it's going to be off the charts this one.
That's what it's seeming like. Do you guys have a prediction or an outcome kind of on this one? Kind of what's your thoughts here so far?
Keegan Bradley was last year's winner. He's sitting at -1. I wouldn't be surprised to see him make a run to the top. I think Fleetwood has a good chance sitting there at -3 the day. Or actually, he's still 13.
Tony Finau, yeah, he's a good choice. He's always in right there in
Top
it. You know
10,
what I mean?
top 15
always,
guy.
Always.
And he's not hard to root for either. He's a
No,
good
he's
guy.
not. And I'll tell you what, I know you guys are going to get on me about this, but I seen a video. His
Where
wife,
at?
His
What'd
wife,
you see it on?
Oh, gosh.
His wife.
What'd you see it
creates
on? Hang on. What'd you see the video on, Rob?
It was on TikTok. his wife shows all of his apparel, because he's sponsored by Nike, and they have it late. I love watching it because
I bet you do.
They get new shoes, new clothes every single tournament. They have them laid out what they got to wear that day. It's awesome.
I got a piece of advice for you. Take it home and show your wife. Say, hey, babe, see this woman?
Fastest way
She
to
lays his
divorce.
clothes out for him. She lays his clothes out for him every single day, man.
She washes and takes care of me, so I think I'll hold
She
off.
what?
She washes my clothes.
Action for these guys. like I said,
I know a little windy down there. It was like 15 mile per hour gust, 15 to 20. So, there's a little wind. Other than that, I can't imagine it's a tough course. They usually save them for the majors or the big name course, like the Memorial, anything like that. So,
I mean, it's still a $4 million purse here.
I thought it was 20 million.
I mean, that's the price.
Disperse.
But
for the winner, it's $4 million. Well, geez. It wouldn't be bad to win.
Yeah. I just won 4.5. Let's go play next weekend for 4.
Yeah.
And
that's what Happy Gilmore would do.
Yeah, and you're playing the course
that
for
nice
free.
course.
That's how Happy Gilmore played.
Got to get the house.
Yeah, you got to get that house, baby. Who do we like in this one, boys and girls?
You already said. Who did you say you?
I went with Finau.
You went with Finau.
Sending -5 right now.
I'm going to go with Zalatoris. And the only reason is, I don't know if you guys have seen the show on Netflix that they have, Full Swing.
You've told me about it. Is that when Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth's on there as well?
There's a bunch of them. Zalatoris,
Yeah.
all of them's on there. They follow them around. It's kind of like a Hard Knocks, I would say, for golf.
For golf?
So, I mean, like, they do money games, like things you don't see.
Yeah, all those big money
some
games.
vulgar language and alcohol.
Guys being guys on the golf course, like what we do.
So,
we just don't talk about it.
It is a really good show to watch, but Zalatoris, I think he's going to be a great up-and-coming golfer and already has been in the top 15, 20 every tournament pretty much. I think he's got a great chance sitting where he's at right now to win the tournament.
I like Ricky Fowler. He's got it just feels like he's due. He hasn't really finished up there in anything really relevant recently. He hasn't had a top 25 finish in his last few tournaments, but he's sitting up there top of the leaderboard. And I'm thinking that a guy like Ricky Fowler gets enough momentum, gets enough people going with him in that crowd on his side. Maybe he could pull one out.
Yeah,
this weekend.
Fowler was always whenever he came into the PGA, I mean, he was one of those up and comers that all the newer generation wanted to follow. He was flashy. He wore the flat bill hat.
Yeah,
bright orange on Wednesday or on Sundays.
Yeah.
So he was definitely someone that everyone followed, and he just kind of never really.
He's become a volatile golfer. He's always got a round or just a day where he blows up.
Yeah.
If he could put it all together for 4 rounds, he'd be a top 5 golfer every week.
Yeah, he just doesn't really.
The ceiling's there for him. He's just got to put it all together for 4 days.
But I'll tell you what, playing golf for 4 days in a row, that's tough.
But I couldn't go out right now and play 18. I'd be down for the count for 12 hours.
And that's you in a cart.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But he's not having to carry his own bag, though.
It's true, but you still have to walk it.
I mean, I agree. It would suck.
Especially 90 degrees.
95 degrees today in Connecticut. But again, I'm sure those guys aren't complaining as they compete for the ultimate $4 million prize this weekend in Connecticut. Great weekend of golf. Brown, do you have one in this one? Do you have a dog in this fight?
Well, I don't really watch golf like you guys do. I'm going to go with a familiar name though. I'll take Scheffler, just out of a shot in the dark.
Number 1 golfer in the world.
I mean, he's not at the top right now.
I
So
said
I mean,
-5. He's 3 strokes behind.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people at -5 and -6. It's wide open.
I'll take a familiar name.
Yeah.
He's not arrested yet. It's only Thursday.
If he did, I would take him.
Right. If he got arrested on Wednesday night, you're taking him,
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Brown, you may not watch quite as much golf, but you probably played the most golf out of any of us this
Yeah, he has. I've only
this
been out
summer.
twice.
So
I think it's me or Rob.
I've been out 3 times.
Okay, I've been out more. I've been out more than.
yeah.
Doesn't
He's
show on the
lost more golf
scorecard, but
I mean, I don't know. We've been told you've been golfing pretty well, so I mean,
He told me he took 3.5 hours to play 9 yesterday.
I'll tell you what,
Golly.
he always plays the best when I'm not there.
He gets the most swings in.
Stop it. Stop.
One of those.
I'm honest on my scorecards.
Yeah.
One of those.
I shot a 51 yesterday.
In 6 holes.
9.
Neither here nor there.
Not much better, no.
Moving.
Never said I was good.
Moving through the golf talk. Do either of you know what the next upcoming major is? Over this
It would have to be the British Open, right?
I don't know. I'm asking. It's not trivia night just
after
yet.
the U.S. Open, it goes British Open, and then
we got the Rocket Mortgage Classic.
Okay.
Coming up next week or at the end of June.
Doesn't sound like a major.
Nope. After that, that's all I got there.
All right. We'll we'll
we'll get
July.
I'll get a look at that real quick.
Yeah.
What, the
please
Scottish
do.
Open? Is that what you're talking about there?
What's that?
The Scottish Open?
Whatever the next
I believe
major
that's
is.
That's a major.
Yeah.
Rob, you keep researching.
Rob, you keep doing your thing.
The Open Championship is the 18th.
The Open is the
Okay.
Open Championship is
18th of July.
which that is the British Open.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So looking forward to seeing that thing, and man, there's going to be so much going on in mid-July, man, between Olympics, the British Open, the Open Championship.
You will not see Caitlin Clark.
Will not see Caitlin Clark, notably. But hey, that's all right, Rob, because she's probably a
She's
good person.
A-okay, I'm sure.
She's probably a good person.
Definitely, yeah.
And that's what
She's
really
got a lot of good answers.
That's
She
what
has
really
great,
matters.
great media. Whoever her media person is phenomenal.
Do you guys have anything else on the Travelers Championship that teed off today in Connecticut?
No, I'd just like to have that $4 million prize.
I just
Or
like
get
to
first.
I'd take the opportunity to play golf, 90-degree beautiful course in Connecticut.
I would just take the opportunity to be one of their caddies.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah,
I don't
that.
think you can make it 4 days.
I could just walk, not having to play, not having to mentally think about it. Just carry your bag. hand
But
it
if they
yourself, you know.
trusted you with a read, do you think you could
No,
deliver?
I couldn't read a green. Green's on them. I'm not.
Green's on them.
It's going to break left, and I'm going to say it's going to break right. I can't read a green to save my life.
Rob, the great value caddy, man. I love everything.
Rob's like, you don't
about
want to
this.
leave it long.
I am the caddy you get off Timu. So
Rob, the wish list caddy, man. We love everything about it. Hey, we're going to take just a quick break here as we're live from the Stockroom 601 in Jackson. Get on down here. Trivia night's going to be beginning here at 7 o'clock with Lori Graves. You're listening to the 7-4 Sports Show live on Fox Sports Radio 105.3 WYPC Jackson.
Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach. Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
I'm just texting him back. I'm just posting a story. I'm just changing the song. I'm just...
No. When it comes to distracted driving, just don't. Sending a text takes your eyes off the road for just 5 seconds, but in that time, your car can travel the length of an entire football field. Any distracted driving just isn't worth it.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Transitioning from being a Marine to a civilian was very hard. I lost my purpose. I lost the drive that I had. That is a very dark and lonely place to be. It took me surrendering to myself to get the help that I needed. At my very first Wounded Warrior Project event, I met Ray Pizarro. He told me you need to have the courage to forgive yourself for the things you've done in the past. I got it tattooed on my hand. One night, my depression kept telling me, you can end this. And just before I was about to pull the trigger, I looked down at my hand, and that's what saved my life that night. That was the beginning of my incredible journey with the Wounded Warrior Project.
See how we help warriors combat stigma at woundedwarriorproject.org/combat stigma.
Weather is brought to you today by Carmen's Used Cars and Trucks, where you won't want to miss the hot deals like this 2013 Ford F-Automatic with V8. It's only $17,995 at Carmen's in Jackson. We're expecting another hot one today as the area remains under that heat advisory through 8 p.m. Saturday. Sunshine with temperatures climbing up to around 94. Then tonight, mostly clear. Lows will be around 70. More of the same for your Friday. Sunny and hot, highs near 96. Those heat index values tomorrow afternoon climbing up to close to 100.
Fox Sports Radio 105.3 WYPC Jackson. You're listening to the 7-4 Sports Show, broadcasting live today from Stockroom 601. And today I am joined by my lifelong brother, Bub, our longtime friend, the degenerate Rob, and the senior basketball guy, Andrew Brown. Thank you all for being here. It's a hot one here in the 740. We are talking all your favorite hot sports here, live from the Stockroom. Comedy night beginning here in just a couple hours at 7 p.m. And we're kind of pre-gaming, getting ready for that here. And Bub, I'm going to swing it here to Rob. Rob's got some NFL news for us here on the show.
Yeah, not sure if you guys seen it after this current Justin Jefferson contract that he signed, which was massive, right? Did you see who they have named their starting quarterback before training camp?
I did not.
Was it?
Any guesses?
It's not McCarthy?
It's not McCarthy.
It is not McCarthy.
Is it Josh Dobbs?
It is not Josh Dobbs.
It is not Josh Dobbs.
I don't know. Did they sign somebody else, like a veteran?
I'm trying to think.
Oh, he's a vet.
No, he's a vet.
He's been around.
Cam Newton?
Time or two.
Colin
Stop it.
Kaepernick?
Probably would have rather had either one of them.
Tom Brady?
That would be nice. Sam Darnold.
Sam
Oh,
Darnold.
that's right. I
gosh.
forgot they
To
signed him. Yeah.
lead the Minnesota
Oh my
Vikings.
gosh.
Let's go ahead and pay this receiver, and let's put Sam Darnold throwing him the ball.
That's why you had to pay him.
That's
You didn't have a choice.
disgusting.
Yeah.
I need more money if you're going to have Sam Darnold throw me the ball.
I would too.
I mean, at least you don't have to worry about paying
But
an offensive
I
line.
think
It doesn't matter.
in the end, I think the reason they're doing it is not that they don't have faith in McCarthy. I think it's easier to put McCarthy in at week 8 than to have to take him out at week 8 and recover from that going forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it takes a lot less pressure off McCarthy.
Yeah.
To kind of be the guy. It allows him to sit. I mean, he's not yet, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's no one saying J.J. McCarthy is going to come out of Michigan and actually lead that team right out of the gate. He doesn't have the talent for it just yet. I love a gamer. I love a gamer. The guy who won a national championship at Michigan, as much as I hate to say that, I will respect it because of how hard it is to do. But I don't think he's the guy I don't think he's the guy for the job yet. And I'm like you, Rob. Week 8, a lot easier to insert that guy, but I think ideally they don't insert him at all this year.
Right.
They just develop him and see what the future really holds.
However, the news does come after he threw out a first pitch at the Minnesota Twins game and threw it low left in the dirt. So,
Again, a little development.
Accuracy issue, maybe. But I think this is actually fairly standard, though, in the NFL of recent years. I mean, you're drafting a guy, if he's not the first, second, third pick, those
top
later,
5.
mid to late round guys, like quarterbacks especially, you've seen their confidence get kind of thrown
Diminished.
diminished, drugged through the mud, being put in bad situations. So, I mean, it's pretty standard, not totally surprised, but...
Go ahead, Rob. No, go ahead.
I
Rob.
was just saying, I was surprised it's Sam Darnold and not anyone else on the planet. It's Sam Darnold.
I don't like the idea of wasting a year of Justin Jefferson's career as well.
Yeah.
I don't like. I mean, they did the smart thing by signing him before they said, "Hey, Sam Darnold's going to throw to you."
I don't think it's wasting a year. I think it's protecting another investment. I mean, it is what it is. You just don't have the guy right now. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean you throw your draft pick into a sink or swim situations. That's one of the things that we hate seeing is these guys that get thrown into these situations.
But you got Justin Jefferson.
I know you
as your
got JJ,
receiver,
but after that though,
and Addison was a heck of a stud last year.
but you've got next to nothing for an offensive line right now in Minnesota.
Do you think they should have re-signed Kirk Cousins then, if you're worried about?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, that would have been the
100%
solution.
What you should have
That
done.
would have been the
Especially
solution
for
to
the
all
contract
this.
he got. 80
Yeah.
mil.
Yeah,
for
the
4
contract.
years or
I mean,
something like
you're
that?
coming off of an ACL though at his age. It's a little tough.
I mean,
But-
Darnold is tough in
Well, do
general.
I take-
Yeah, I would
But
rather,
someone was going to
I'd
do
rather
it.
Kirk
You know what I
Cousins
mean?
with
He
no
was the
legs
better
than
option
Darnold.
for you.
Yeah.
Like you knew that if Kirk Cousins left, someone was going to give him stupid money. I'd rather know that if I've got to give him stupid money, I've got a guy that I know that can catch the ball on the other end and do stupid things with it. I'm set there.
They just need someone to throw him the ball.
Right, and this is what we were talking about yesterday though with some of the guys. Like sometimes you just have to eat it and pay them the money.
But
because
Kirk's wasn't like stupid money for a quarterback relative to the.
no, I think it was just more
it's
they're
only like
probably
25 a
wanting to
year.
go into a different direction. I think that's probably what
Didn't
it
he get
was.
4 years, $1 180?
I thought it was 4 years, like 90 mil for Atlanta.
Oh, I thought it was 4 and 180.
I think it was, yeah.
Was it 180?
Yeah, I think it was definitely closer to 200.
I don't know why I was thinking it was like 4 for 90.
Double check, please double check me on that.
It was up there. It was because it was so crazy, and that's why everybody was freaking
and then,
out.
Yeah, and
that
then
they,
Michael Penix.
So then maybe the concern becomes you can't pay JJ if you re-sign Kirk. Then was that the concern?
Well, I mean, they would still have 5 years to pay JJ, right, or 4 years to pay.
No,
JJ.
I think he was talking about.
Oh, Justin Jefferson. I'm thinking McCarthy.
I'm sorry, Justin Jefferson. Yeah, that I need to distinguish that a little bit better. Yeah, because then the concern becomes like if you just paid Kirk, how are you going to pay Justin Jefferson? That may be the case? I don't know. And then is that the Justin Jefferson? If you're telling me, if we're picking one or the other, I know the answer.
Yeah.
We're taking Justin Jefferson over Kirk. But is that the case? Is that what they felt in Minnesota? You think?
Maybe, but I feel like there was a lot more backup QBs they could have went out and got. Pickett.
Josh Dobbs did a decent job.
They traded
Jake Browning.
Jake Browning would have
deserved
been
a
to go
shot.
after,
That's what
but the
I'm saying.
Bengals kind of swooped him up before he
They
could even
did
go on the
for
market.
next thing. But what I'm saying though is, if you flash $40 million at Jake Browning,
Heck, go Joe Flacco. He just had a little run.
That's what I'm saying. These are
someone
all
else did.
viable
You know
options.
what I mean?
Better than
Especially if you're thinking like you could have him taken out like halfway through the season. I mean, Flacco probably actually would have been a nice little fit just to kind of bridge the gap.
Yeah, I mean, he would be a great bridge.
Yeah, I could get
but
behind
you
that
got
one.
Sam Darnold.
You went.
but at the end of the
saddled.
day, you signed the best receiver in football to a great deal.
Yeah,
and
you're facing
honestly,
the
a good
franchise
deal on
locked
both ends, in my opinion. I think that Minnesota got him for a great price as well, given his talent. It was as good as it could have gotten, but I think it was a great price. And now you got Sam Darnold throwing him the ball.
The other way I seen it going was, say they start J.J. McCarthy, doesn't play very well, then they've got to take him out. They put Sam Darnold in, he doesn't play very well. How are you going to justify it to the Viking fans? Let's put J.J. McCarthy back in there. So I do see where they're going at.
And improved from, what I mean? I feel like it's an easy, but I think it's harder. To me, the bigger concern would be JJ's confidence, right? You don't want another Baker situation, something like that, where you pull a guy and then you got to put him back into a game and rely on him. Baker left, change of scenery, things are great right now down in Tampa, but things got real dicey there in Cleveland.
And Justin Jefferson, he's the give me the ball kind of guy, and if he's not getting the ball, he's going to be very vocal about it.
Yeah.
And he might not be now that he's on a very well contract.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually
he's got more than $20.
He's definitely got more than $20.
Yeah.
I actually like the direction that they're going into because, I mean, if you do, let's say, sign Kirk and then you pay JJ like you're paying him, where's the rest of the money going to go? I just, I think you're going to need to build up the trenches and then kind of build up that way. I mean, it's going to be a rough year. It's almost like a throwaway for JJ for this year, but that's just kind of the timeline that they're on right now.
I mean, they got a decent defense as well. I mean, back from last year.
Offensive line, more or less, is what I'm going at. You want to protect your quarterback. You don't want to throw in, your first round.
Another Burrow situation where you get a quarterback and no line and he gets hurt.
Yep.
I mean, you would rather solidify at least 2 roles on the offensive line.
So what you're telling me is Sam Darnold is more of a
hitting dummy.
Pig, like, hey, we're letting you know you're going to get hit. We're going to put you back.
They were going to make a South Park episode about it.
Okay.
Well, we might look back and see that there was the South Park made an episode about this one. Patriots signing running back Ramondre Stevenson to a 4-year, $36 million extension. It's not a terrible amount of money.
No, less than $10 million a year for a running back.
And I mean, as of last year, running backs' value was plummeting. That was the whole conversation of last year. Was the running back value.
$17 million guaranteed, and he'll receive $8 million for a signing bonus. Contract includes $12 million in incentives. After posting 1,400 yards and earning a Pro Bowl last season.
Yeah, he was definitely their offense.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, he's a nice kind of receiving, a little bit outside the lines type of runner. I mean, I like him as a running back. Not the most durable guy, but I think he's a fine running back.
But he still plays a little more physical than what his durability allows him to. I think it's a good signing. You get a running back for under $10 million, and you lock him up for 4 years, and he is the direction of your offense, unfortunately, for the Patriots.
And a lot of these NFL contracts, like some of them are very incentive based, so you kind of see the main line of what they're getting paid, but a lot of times it's well under that.
Do you see that
depending on their
17 mil
incentives.
guarantee? That's good.
Yeah,
for a
that's
running
good.
back.
That's what I'm saying. That's good for a running back. Puts him sixth among running backs. And is he a top 6 running back in the league? You see what I'm saying? That's kind of my concern with it, because he's getting darn near top 5 running back money.
I mean, the thing is are they paying anybody right now, or
And
will they be paying
1,400
anybody?
yards seasons aren't.
I mean, I'm pretty happy with a running back that gets 1,400 yards in a
In
season.
today's game, yeah.
Well, just the rushing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I mean, does he contribute to the passing game? Is he receiving? I don't know what he does.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
not
going to
super
contribute to the
familiar with
passing
his
game.
versatility.
He's going to definitely contribute. He can catch a lot of passes outside the backfield.
I mean, that's as far as Mac Jones could throw. So he was.
And honestly, what weapons do they even have on the offensive side of the ball?
Jacoby Myers, was that
N'Keal Henry?
No, I mean,
No, he played for Oakland last year.
yeah,
so
he's gone. N'Keal
yeah,
Henry was drafted.
they had
He was
Juju.
a bust.
I mean, that was So Devontae Parker. Yeah, I mean, just a lot of names that are kind of washed at this point. So he was one of their main talents. A lot of their talent is on the defensive side of the
Yeah,
ball.
with
anyways.
Matthew Jude on. Oh,
Yeah.
he's a heck of a
Christian
DN.
Gonzalez.
Yeah,
great
that
young
was a-
prospect. Like
Are you a Christian Gonzalez fan? I don't know if I'm a big Christian Gonzalez.
I thought you had a pretty good year last year, didn't you? Or no?
Yeah, I'm just not sold on him yet. I just had a lot of bias of him coming out of college.
Yeah.
But other than that, like I said, I like Jude on. That defense does seem good, but they just got to figure out the offense.
Yeah.
The offense is in shambles. I mean, it's a mess.
That's what happens when you make a high draft pick and it doesn't pan out,
Or
and
you
you're
don't have
setting
Brady
yourself
or
back
Belichick
years.
or-
Their organization's in shambles.
Yeah, they just can't draft. Like that N'Keal Harry draft pick was horrible for him. That set them back so far.
Yes.
Was it N'Keal Harry?
Huh?
Was it N'Keal Harry? I thought it was N'Keal Henry.
No, N'Keal Harry.
Yeah.
Either way, it was bad.
Yeah. Either way,
Yeah.
it didn't pan out for him.
Yeah, nonetheless, terrible draft pick there. On the other side of the running back world, though, you got a guy like Austin Eckler, who is kind of a bit of a proven running back. He's going to an organization now in Washington who wants a running back who can take up to, did you guys see this? 300 carries on the year.
Wow.
I didn't see the number of carries.
The number of carries.
Carries or touches?
Carries.
Okay. You're not going to get carries out
Chargers
of
want
Eckler.
running back
Touches.
who
I can see
handle
touches happening.
300
Yeah.
carries.
And with Ayuk going there, I mean, that's
Are you breaking news right now?
I don't know.
Schefter?
I will say though, I don't think that he meant carries. If I had to guess, I'll venture
Yeah,
to say
just
because the quote came
Yeah.
from Eckler himself, it sounds like it's just what he's being told amongst the coaches, the staff, and things like that. But he's, sounds like he's embracing all of it.
I was going to say, you want to be the focal point of the offense. There you go.
Yeah,
He's a heck of a talent. I mean, his main thing is just injuries.
If
That's
he
it.
gets 300 touches, oh my god,
well, I don't know why.
he'll have a phenomenal year.
Yeah.
I feel like he's ancient. How old is Eckler?
probably like 28. I was going to say
28.
28.
Yeah, not sure on that part of it.
I mean, I just feel like he's old as for a running back, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, for a guy that's possibly, he's 29.
29.
Yep. He's only
Pretty
touched.
old
He's
for
only hit
running
the 300 touches mark once in his career, and that was in 2022. When he did, he had 204 carries and 107 receptions.
Wow. So, I mean, he did get over the 300
He
touches.
was over that. He was over that. But it's again, and that was in 2022, and now you're 29 years old. You're only averaging. Excuse me, only averaging 3.5 yards per carry right now. Washington's going to be a tough place to make a ton happen in.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how
You're going to
good
be
their
playing-
line is.
You're going to be playing games from behind.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jaden Daniels
But
now.
they are packing on some players. If ever everything works out the way it's sounding like, drafting Jaden Daniels, Eckler, you still got Scary Terry over there.
Yeah, you got the
if you
potential
add
of
Ayuk,
Ayuk.
like I mean,
Dotson.
Yeah,
Jahan
Jahan Dotson. Yeah.
Like I mean,
Yeah.
they have some talent and some potential talent that may be headed their way, but I don't know how well. Like you said, they're going to have to be playing down because I don't know their defenses. I can't name a player on their defense. I don't think on Washington's defense.
Yeah.
And apparently, I don't think anybody else
Oh,
can.
no, honestly, I was trying to think of
I'm
somebody.
trying to think of somebody. I just
Sean
top of my
Taylor.
Yikes. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm with you. They, and that's just out of market team, not really
Yeah.
relevant. Rob, probably you would have had the most knowledge on the Redskins of any of us because your team plays them twice a year.
I don't know that's Redskins anymore. But
Yeah. Oh,
a
I'm
little
sorry.
PC,
The Commanders. Sorry.
You just can't get it right today.
Yeah, I'm doing what I can.
Indians,
the Indians, the
Redskins,
Redskins.
and he's throwing them all out
Man,
there.
I told you what we peaked
The
hard.
Oilers.
We peaked hard in the '90s. Edmonton. This
guys
is
are rolled it
this is
in.
as dumb as we get. I love a running back that wants 300 touches on the year. And if Eckler, and I want to see Eckler get 300 touches because Brown, that means he's healthy. If the guy gets 300 touches, that means he's healthy for the year. And if he gets 300 touches, that's a dynamic guy touching the ball 300 times, and that's going to make for entertaining football. I'm in for that. Sign me up.
Yeah, if your running back's getting 300 touches, that means you're in the game competing because you're not racing against the clock to catch up all
Right.
game. So
Yeah.
I think that would send a good sign to the Commanders.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's kind of why it's their goal. If you're structuring out, if you're the Commanders, this is the time of the year where you're laying out your season. You're laying out what you want your offense to look like, your defense to look like, and trying to bring those visions with your roster right now, bring those to life. And it seems to be what they're doing, and Eckler seems to be on board with that.
Yeah, they're going to be a team that's going to have to control the clock. They're not talented enough to beat teams just straight up. They're going to have to.
Yeah.
They're going to have to control the pace of the game, chew the clock up, make efficient plays. It doesn't have to be home run hitters every play. Just nickel and dime 'em down the field. Take your 5 yards at a time.
Unfortunately, though, for the Commanders, they're going to see Philly twice, and they're going to see Dallas twice. So not an easy slate for the Commanders, and I'm not sure what their schedule looks like.
see
out
the
of
Giants
conference.
twice.
I was going to say you don't want to throw the Giants in that too.
No, I don't. You'll see the Giants twice. I mean, you'll split there somehow, and that will be two stupid games.
I'm sure it'll be a Thursday game.
Yeah, yeah.
Thursday night or a Sunday morning,
No,
9 o'clock.
Tuesday in Germany.
Yeah.
They don't care who watches it, man. Yeah, I'd say that you're probably right though. Not a ton though outside of that really happening in the realm of the football or of the NFL world. But things are getting interesting with NIL money in the college football world. Rob, I'm gonna tag you in here.
Yeah, I this has always been a thought of mine, especially now that it's more prevalent that these players are getting money. And this is probably a hot take. However, I feel that those players that are getting NIL deals should. I don't know if there's a certain number they hit on money they make.
There should be a threshold.
There should be a threshold of money they make that they have to no longer accept the full ride scholarship. I feel like that should be handed down to somebody else or allocated otherwise. I mean, I get that that's, hey, we're giving you a full ride scholarship, but I mean, at some point in time, you gotta be like, okay, you're making a lot of money. You can pay for your college. This guy over here that's sitting the bench or whatever he's doing, he would probably be more appreciative of the full ride scholarship.
How about we make the colleges spit out the money more than the players that are making the money?
Elaborate, please. What do you mean?
I would rather the college shell out more scholarships and full rides than players having to give up their own money because they're earning a full ride scholarship. Why should they have to pay for college and give up a full ride scholarship just because they're making more money?
I see where you're coming from.
Make the college expand their scholarships.
Colleges have a lot of money. Division I colleges have a lot of money.
So does that 18-year-old making $3 million for?
But it's not
Who's got more money?
It's not his responsibility to hand out scholarships. That's on the
Correct.
that's on the education department.
Okay, so then why can't the education department make it to where if you make this certain amount of money, if you're claiming this amount of money on your taxes, because I'm sure they have to, right? Then you cannot receive a full ride scholarship.
Just seems like another perfect time to point out that Texas is showing their recruits cars instead of trophies. Going to go ahead and switch back to you, Rob.
Yeah, I mean, also if you're getting items like that and you're not getting cash and everything, how do you equate that and everything?
I see what you're saying there. I just feel that there's a lot of other humans out there deserving of full ride scholarships, whether that be athletic or academic, that are not getting those because of these student athletes that are getting them.
No, it's
but
because
also
of the
making
schools.
millions.
It's because of the schools not shelling out money. You can't blame the athletes that are doing everything they can to get a full ride scholarship.
So let's look at it from this perspective. So I think NCAA programs get what, 25 a year to give out?
I'm not sure.
I think it's 25. I think it's the number. So let's look back before NIL and all the silly things. 25 a year scholarships to give out to your NCAA program, and let's extrapolate that amongst all programs have a similar number relative to what they do, right? Okay, no one has a problem with any of that yet, right?
Yeah.
No, I mean at this point, everyone's cool. Okay, NIL money, athletes who are earning money on themselves, name, image, likeness, NIL, on themselves, now start making money off of them and going to school on the scholarship at which they were given that we didn't have a problem with. Now we want to pull the scholarship from the kids.
A lot of the problem that I have with it is I feel that a lot of those students that have those scholarships are typically ones going to the going to the NFL that don't ever do anything with those scholarships other than have a free trip to that school to play sports. So that, I guess that's where I'm coming from. If you're making money in college, you're going to be making money in the NFL. You're not. They're going to stay for 2 years. They're going to.
I mean,
to the
not all
draft.
of them. I mean,
Not
the percentage is so low of the guys that actually
there's
make.
plenty of athletes that aren't going to make it into the NFL from college football that are going to be making money there.
Take football aside for just a moment too. If we're looking at just football, some of these things make sense. But if we're looking at women's athletes, Caitlin Clark, who comes to college now, she's making a bunch of money. Are we really going to take Caitlin Clark's scholarship from her?
Give it to one of the other girls.
I just don't understand your theory of taking from the people that have earned it rather than taking from the colleges that are supposed to be shelling out that money. Increase the scholarships. Don't take from the people that are at the bottom earning their way up.
Yeah, I actually agree with Bubba.
Would you be cool if the government was like, we need to pay for stuff, Rob. I need you to give me all your money because all
They
these
do that.
billionaires. Yeah, I know.
What are you talking
Do you like it?
Hang on,
Are you
though.
a fan of it? No. Make the people at the top start shelling out this money.
I agree with Bubba. Put it on the school to fork up some extra money. Because, I mean, what if...
Have a car wash.
Yeah, there you go. Have a car wash.
I didn't go to college to bear the responsibility of paying other people's tuition as well.
And what were to happen, though, if
I wasn't
one of
trying to
those-
pay my own tuition in college, let alone someone else.
What would happen, though, if one of those star athletes got injured? What would you do if you didn't have
All
the
right,
scholarship?
here's your scholarship now.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
you going to give it back to him?
No.
No, they hit the portal and go get one.
Maybe
somewhere
I
else.
just I'm an outlier on this. I feel like
I agree with you. The kids are making too much money.
That's
they're
the real issue
and
here.
they're not knowing how to manage it or deal with it.
It's not-
they're getting
nothing-
too much money at such a young age.
Nothing is being regulated.
Nobody's teaching them
Nothing.
Yes, the way I see it is, if you have the money to pay for college, then I feel like you should pay for college. I feel like the people who don't, that earn those scholarships, it's like, otherwise I'm not going to be able to come here, kind of thing. They can have it.
Yeah.
And
The theory,
ain't fair.
like when you say it like
Right.
that, the theory of it is there, and like I get warm and fuzzy inside, and I start to like. I promise you, like
Yeah.
I'm with you on the way that you're saying it.
He's a big socialist.
Who?
Rob.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh well, hang on now. Not like that. Not that type of
That's what it
socialist.
sounded like.
No, but I'm with you to some degree. But the only thing, like when I break it down, of course, the way that I did just a moment ago, it just feels like we're taking money from the kids that have earned it based on what they've done with that opportunity to begin with.
I see it that way now as well. After talking, not completely. I'm just saying I see the other side.
Yeah.
Like I see the other side. I'm still going to stick with, if you're making a certain amount of money, you can pay for your own college because you're only going to be there a year or 2 years for the most part.
But you
I would
can't
love to
predict
see
their
the
future.
statistics for these people that are making amount of money, how long they actually do, or if they actually go get their degree.
Okay, so let's take sports out of it for a moment. And I'm going to leave it at this: a student who isn't playing a sport, do they become ineligible for an academic scholarship because they have too much money?
No, because they're going to that school to actually get
But
a
if
degree.
they still have.
But they're going to go to. You can't tell me there's.
You can't predict
You're looking
the
at-
future of
you're
what
looking at
athletes
the
are going to
outlier.
do.
But, I mean, at face value, you're looking at the outliers. What's the percentage of athletes that make it to professional sports in college?
And I would love to know the percentage of athletes that have scholarships in college get a degree.
You mean
'Cause
how
I feel
many
like-
athletes get a degree and graduate college with a scholarship?
Correct.
So what you're suggesting is that everyone who isn't a professional athlete graduates from college and utilizes that degree.
No, not at all.
There's actually only about 50% or 56% of students that actually retain through college and graduate.
But those people that are on academic scholarships, I would venture to guess they go get a degree.
I would say there's some athletes out there that get degrees as well.
There are. I'm sure there are.
Some of them also go back while they're in their professional career.
It's definitely a
you gotta
hot button
understand,
topic.
It's busy. I mean, it's a busy lifestyle, going to school every day and doing what they do in college. I mean, you're working
It
2
is.
jobs
It
at that
was.
point.
I mean, it was really hard for me to go to school and party, but hey, I did the best I could.
You did a good job.
Hey, thank you, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Of course, 3 proud Rio grads up here. Of course, Rio Grande.
Rob went to Rio. He just, he was one of those that didn't graduate.
Oh man,
I do have a degree.
Yeah, you did.
Hey,
Not from
he-
Rio, though. I do
Well,
have
he
a
also
degree.
had that professional thing lined up. Remember that one time until that knee thing that you had?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I never was awarded a scholarship, nor did I have money to go anywhere other than Rio Grande. So, and then Hawking. But to end
Nonetheless.
it off, I feel that's the way I feel on it is that the people who get the scholarships in athletics
Have a moral obligation.
are less likely
to give up their scholarship.
I'm not saying them give it up. I didn't.
Hey,
You're
have
just
you
going
seen-
way out and about on it.
Have you seen the ones though where athletes do though, like where they do give their scholarship up to
It's
like another
awesome, man.
athlete?
It's
It is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
and
is
great for
awesome.
those people, but I'm going to be selfish at some point in my life.
No,
Always.
I'm with you, but
Especially if you worked since you were a child to
yeah.
get to where you were at.
If I put in all that work and I busted my butt and went through all the grinding,
You should be
I
rewarded.
deserve
Well,
what
at the
I
end of
earned.
the day-
deserve it, yeah.
At the end of the day-
and those people are the ones that aren't going to go all the way through school. They're going to go to the NFL or the majors or NBA or whatever, and they're not going to utilize that full ride scholarship.
so everyone who gets $1 million in college is going to be a professional athlete.
I'm going to attempt to do some research on this because I have a
Yeah.
feeling I'm on the
I
right
would
side
love
of
to hear
this.
this.
Yeah.
that
We're gonna keep
a lot
this
of
going.
those athletic scholarships don't get put to use.
I'll tell you another issue with it is it feels like hang on. It feels like at that point NIL just defeats itself, right? Like if we're going to here's your scholarship and here's the money that you've earned based on NIL, name, image, likeness. It just feels like okay, well, if you get to that point, we're taking the scholarship. It's like you can't have both. Well, that's what NIL is for.
Yeah, because that's what they were doing right before.
Otherwise, you're just getting paid and risking your scholarship to a point. Like nothing really changed at that point, right? It's just more glorified.
I mean, what about the guy that just accepted the money, the dad? Got $180,000.
Oh, from the children's hospital.
Yeah.
That's where that was an issue.
And we don't even know about this guy's name,
Yeah.
whoever this tackle was.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, what's the cutoff then? If you're going to have a cutoff,
I'm sure that's the same. I bet he utilized his full ride scholarship too if he received one.
man,
I know you're going to look
180,000.
into it and let us know, though, right?
I just don't know how you predict. I don't know how you
Research,
predict the
Rob.
future of what a
Research,
college
Rob.
student's going to do 10 years down the road. I don't know how you do that.
I mean, I can
You're
tell
trying.
you.
You're saying that these athletes aren't going to utilize their degree. You don't know that. You don't know their lives and what they're going to do after school.
You're
You
assuming
can't
they
predict that.
graduated. I'm saying
If
these
they're going
guys-
to college, I'm going to assume that they're working hard to graduate.
the the athletes that are getting the full rides.
Yeah, you can
That
go
don't
for
go
a
4
2-year
years?
degree. You can accelerate your degrees.
You could. I think you're way off on it though. I think it's way more people that don't take advantage of the full.
I
ride
just
and
think
get
it's
it-
ludicrous that you think somebody that earns a degree should give it up because they make so much money.
And like I said,
And
with
give it to
injury,
someone more deserving that didn't come
think
from
that,
anything.
and not think that the college should shell out the money or our government. What are you? I mean, would you rather do that?
Listen,
I think that's a great answer.
You're preaching to the choir when it comes to college. I think it's the biggest shame in the United
Oh,
States.
yeah.
So,
Soapbox Rob. Here we
so,
go.
we
so I
agree
mean,
on that. Yeah, we'll get on the same page now.
that's the biggest scam in the United States, in my opinion. It's college, but
I proudly have 2 degrees from the University of Rio Grande.
that's just my personal
That's
opinion.
all.
However, with that being said, I still going to stand on my whatever you want to call it, and
5'6" hill.
5'6" hill, and say that there are other deserving people rather than
Like
student
Brittany
athletes
Mahomes.
making millions of dollars getting a free ride to go to school.
Damn government.
We agree to disagree here. We love everything about it. We're going to take just a quick break, and we will be right back. You're listening to the 740 Sports Show, broadcasting live from Stockroom 601 in Jackson, right here on Fox Sports 105.3 WYPC Jackson.
this is Jennifer from Main Street TV, inviting you to join us for an hour of community news and talk every Monday through Friday, 9 to 10 a.m. live on Facebook and on the radio with 105.3 FM. If you miss a show live, you can watch anytime on Facebook and YouTube. You can also listen to every episode on demand with all major podcast apps. We hope you'll join us as we talk community news for all of Southeastern Ohio on Main Street TV, weekdays 9 to 10 a.m. live on Facebook and 105.3 FM.
Every 36 seconds, a vehicle is stolen in the United States. Cars are an important investment, and you have the power to protect it. Remove valuables from your car or place out of view. Roll up your windows completely. Don't leave your car running while unattended, especially during the winter. And always
each instrument, the rhythmic bass, the harmonies on the piano, the sticky melody.
Hey, careful, babe. There's someone crossing the street.
Sorry, I didn't see him there.
If you feel different, you drive different. Don't drive high. It's dangerous and illegal everywhere. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When you take a walk around your neighborhood and notice all the things that make it feel like home, like all the houses lined neatly together in a row, or your neighbor, Miss Rita, who always waves at you when you drive down the street, or that movie theater in the strip mall that might look a little worn down, but has the best popcorn you've ever tasted. One thing might be a little harder to notice, because somewhere tucked in that neat row of houses is hunger. It could be your next door neighbor, or your coworker, or your daughter's friend from school, because over 30 million Americans don't know where their next meal is coming from. Hunger lives in neighborhoods all around us, but it doesn't have to. Together, we can provide 1 billion meals by 2030, because everyone should be welcome at the table. Learn more at nourishingneighbors.com. Let's break the cycle of hunger together.
The top 3 contributing circumstances in at-fault statewide fatal crashes from 2019 through 2023 were driving off the roadway, unsafe speed, and driving left of center. This is Trooper McCarty of the Ohio State Highway Patrol's Gallup Police Post. These types of crashes are preventable by exercising safe and responsible driving habits, driving attentively, and obeying all traffic laws. Safety is a shared responsibility of everyone on our roadways, and all these factors are under your control as a driver. To report unsafe drivers, call pound 677.
Fox Sports Radio 105.3 WYPC Jackson. It's the 740 Sports Show, broadcasting live from Stockroom 601 in Jackson. Get on down here. We've got trivia beginning in about an hour and a half. We've got a half an hour lined up here on the 740 Sports Show today. And, of course, it's myself, Eric, Bub, Rob, and senior basketball guy, Andrew Brown. Rob, we got to get you a title other than Degenerate, but hey, Degenerate Gambler works.
I'll just take the Degen.
Degen Gambler works for Rob here. And we've been talking about all your favorite hot sports topics today on a hot one here in the 740. It's temperatures right now at 92. Bub sure feels a lot warmer than that outside.
I'm soaked.
Bub's soaked. He's got the pit sweat going. He's following suit with us. And Brown.
Rob had me pretty heated on that last discussion, too.
I think that was part of it. I'll tell you what. We got our street team members with us here. Of course, Max, Mikey, Ella, Adrian, Jade, and the man of the crew that runs the whole shebang, Dylan. And they're all down here with us. And I felt the tension get tight here at Stockroom 601. Things were tense.
They wasn't ready for it. Huh?
They weren't ready for it. I don't think we kept it PG-13. But the tensions were high, and it was really awesome. And anytime we get to freak out kids and do what we do, it's great
because they've done a great job.
They're phenomenal.
Per usual, I was able to show up, didn't have to do anything. Everything was already set up, so that was great.
Just some of the interns that are a part of the action with this summer throughout our summer kind of tour of everything we got going on here in Jackson County. But these guys are awesome. Their resumes are better than mine. I feel like they should have been interviewing me through the process. But happy they're a part of what we got going on here, and we appreciate all of them. Bub, things were heated last time around. We're going to cool things off just a little bit here, but back to the NFL. We got some other NFL news going on. Preseason news, I should say.
Yeah, we got an ESPN article by Brooke Pryor. NFL's preseason games are looking to be replaced with regular season games. Roger Goodell and the NFL met, and he is in favor of one of the 3 preseason games to expand, or being replaced with a regular season game to expand the season to 18-game schedule.
Okay.
This would run, or this would push the Super Bowl back to President's Day weekend, which would be a holiday or a Monday holiday. So we would get our Monday right after the Super Bowl that we've always wanted. Kind of like as a recovery day.
A recovery day? What do you mean?
Well, if you partaked in anything that...
Well, the Super Bowl runs late at night, and,
if
you
you're
get a
over the
late
age
night
of
sleep.
25...
those kinds of recoveries.
Those Usher halftime shows.
You could have just
those Usher. Yeah, they make me sick to my stomach too.
You could have just said hangover, bub. Yeah, it would definitely be a great. I personally am a.
Got any?
No, I agree with it. I don't watch preseason at all.
I would watch preseason games if I knew that they were 2 games out from playing real games. I'm serious. Like if they didn't play,
if there wasn't 4 of them,
if it wasn't 4,
yeah.
If I knew that, hey, these guys are, because in high school football you have 2 scrimmages or maybe 3, and you got some 7-on-7 action and stuff. I love the idea of 2 preseason games, knowing that these guys are actually gearing up. I think those preseason games become more important and more utilized.
And I know they use a lot of it is now to see what they're going to have in the future or whatever it is, but honestly, if I do watch it, it's the first series to see the starter or whoever in the 3rd and 4th game play.
Yeah, and I was going to say on the other side of the coin. Sorry, Rob, not to cut you off, but on the other hand, I was going to say the only downside is you're not going to. That's a little bit less time you're going to see from your guys, kind of on the bench to see what you have in like real game time scenarios.
Yeah,
I know that's not exciting for all of us to watch, but just as far as like an organizational standpoint, I mean, I can see that kind of being a downside. But I am also a proponent of the 2 games. I think it's from a fan perspective, it's better that way.
I'm glad you mentioned the fan perspective because I'd like to break it up into 3 different perspectives: the fan, the players, and the NFL as a whole. So, as a fan,
what did you say about the NFL?
The NFL as a whole.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure we could say that on the air.
Yeah, so I think as a fan, more football. You get rid of one preseason game where nobody's playing anyways, and then you get it replaced with another just game that means something. As a fan, yeah, that's cool. The players have other opinions.
Will it mean anything, though?
It's an extra game.
Yeah, but I mean, by week 16, 17, you pretty much already know what's going on.
Oh, yeah, now you're going to have to wait until week 17, 18.
Here we go. Are they going to tense up again?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Everyone's good. Everyone's good.
You're adding an extra game.
It's heavy
that
breathing.
Players are
going on.
actually playing in, as opposed to a preseason game that they don't even touch the field for 3 of the quarters.
It's going to be the same. Essentially, your best teams, you're not going to see the starters in that extra preseason game or that extra game at the end of the year.
I don't agree. No, that's not true. You'll have games that are
so
important.
Bub,
yeah, you will, but you'll have a lot that.
Give me the players' perspectives first, Brown, before we get to you. What are the players saying about this?
You want mine? Okay. Colts center Ryan Kelly said 18 games sounds good until you're the one that has to put on the helmet. So an extra game, he's not really a fan of. I will say 40% of the
it's a big statement.
There was an ESPN survey, and 40% of the players said that they were in favor of 18-game seasons, but with stipulations, more compensation. Obviously, you're playing an extra game. Now, they are playing an extra game rather than a preseason game. I think they should be compensated for it more.
Yeah. Everything revolves around money.
Yep. 8% of them are in favor of it without stipulations.
Okay.
8% of the NFL is in favor of an 18-game season without stipulations. Not a big number.
I can definitely see that being, a big turnoff for veterans that are trying to extend their career. I mean, you never know. One game could make or break them having
absolutely, and that's
1
more game over 10 seasons. That's 10 more games you're having to play.
I mean, yeah, definitely. With stipulations is reasonable. If I'm going to I don't want to work for free. You know what I mean? So, I want to get compensated for what I'm doing, especially like a violent game like football. What was the percentage on that?
That one was 8% of players was in favor of no stipulations.
Right.
46 were in favor of with stipulations.
So, if I assume more compensation being the stipulation.
Yeah, more compensation. I'm assuming. Yeah.
So that's 54%.
Because right now, I think it's the players are getting 48% of the revenue, and owners are getting 52%. But if they add this, the players could be able to renegotiate for a higher percentage.
Right.
Because again, Ryan Kelly did say, he's like, you give us 70% and then they take 30%. I'm sure a lot of players would be on board.
Yeah.
But everybody has to draw that line in the sand.
Right.
I mean, the NFL is going to make more money off of this, obviously. And
that's exactly all it is, too.
This ultimately, once it gets past if it does, it'll hurt the veterans of today.
Player
But I
longevity
think,
will not be
yeah,
as-
I think later on they'll be obviously compensated throughout those 18 games. Like whenever more money is made throughout the years, and then more money is able to be distributed throughout the players. But like Rob was saying, I mean, yeah, it's an extra game, but that game means everything whenever you're in the toughest division, like the AFC North.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those games and those standings always come down to the last few weeks, and it's everything. One game is everything whenever it comes down to the end of the season.
I agree with that.
So, Bob, is because you mentioned the NFL as a whole, what does this look like for the NFL as a whole? Because you mentioned from a player's perspective, you don't love it.
Well, there was
From-
20% of the players that didn't even care at all, and 19 was completely against.
I would have think of the NFL. They're like us. They're like
27%.
I would have loved to known like the age group of that percentage.
Well, here's a fun one. The Steelers locker room got a little divided by it.
Oh.
Safety DeMonte Kazee, however you say his last name, Kazee.
Yeah, he was a popular name last season.
He said, whatever the league gives you, man, you just got to adjust to it. His
As with any
teammate,
job in
his
the
teammate
world.
Deshaun Elliott, sitting right next to him, scoffed at him and said, they don't pay us enough. So you got two sides of the spectrum in that locker room.
Maybe
So
him. Who was his name again?
Deshaun Elliott.
Yeah, he was newly acquired from Pittsburgh this year on a new contract.
Yeah.
So that locker room, obviously, it's not a big divide, but
He's
it just,
not
it
getting
just
paid.
shows you the divide. That's what I'm saying.
He probably isn't
He just
getting
sounds like
paid
a disgruntled employee. He just sounds like a semi-pro situation in basketball. You know what I mean? Like, man, they ain't paying us enough.
But if there is a divide in a locker room like that, I mean, you know there's going to be a divide throughout the whole
There's
NFL
divide- yeah,
between
yeah.
players. So I
there's-
thought that was a case
I mean, because it
in point
only
to
affects
make.
the starters, right? Realistically,
Well, yeah.
it only affects the starters.
And then, like I said, the development of some of these bench
Yeah.
players. I mean, it'll affect them to a degree as far as how many looks they get, how many times they can
Because
impress.
it's one more game that the starters have to play, and
Yeah,
you're going to have
play
longer
preseason.
seasons, shorter careers from it. I mean, that's what's going to happen. I do have an interesting take from Ray Lewis, though. In 2010, there was a proposal to enhance the schedule as well, and Ray Lewis basically said, "We are not machines." And that's coming from Ray Lewis in 2010, one of the toughest linebackers to ever play the game.
it was like the Terminator on the field.
Yeah.
and off the field, I think, wasn't he?
He never got. He never.
All
got
right.
I think it's the
All
only
right.
time I've ever heard Ray Lewis not refer to himself as a machine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of right. Like, isn't it a little bit silly?
Didn't we just add another week already?
We did. We added
17?
week
Like,
17.
I'm
Yeah.
cool with 17.
What was that? Like 2 years ago that they implemented that?
Yeah, because we got rid of one of the preseason games.
Because it was 4 originally.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, it gets a little bit silly because, again, a lot of money being thrown around in the league.
Yeah.
It's only going up. Revenues are only going up. The cost of everything's only going up. At the end of the day, I get it, player safety. That's, to me, the most way that the players in the NFL can come to terms on an 18-game season and make both sides happy.
Yeah, I think they'll come together and
do.
they'll
I think that they'll look at it because I do think
compensation.
I think compensation's a great start.
It's just
but
got to
maybe-
be proportionate.
right. But maybe there is. I don't know. I want to say a rest day or in a game you're allowed to sit somebody or something because that also flows. It also disrupts the continuity of things, and you don't want to be doing that all the time.
I mean, in so doing it, they'll get an extra bye week or something, right?
Right. Like that's what I'm saying. There should be another bye week introduced or
Right.
something like that. Like that's
There has
the
to
types of concessions I'm talking about because I think an 18-game season makes a ton of sense. I think if we really stop and hey, this is the end of it. I think it helps with rest day disadvantages if there's another bye week, things that we've talked about that have been issues. I think that there's a line that we can come to make this make a lot of sense.
I just think it's another week of planning around Taylor Swift concerts.
I think one thing that was getting kind of overlooked is I think from these adjustments, the NFL is looking to make this more of a year-round sport as
love
possible,
Taylor
like as much as possible as they can, like the NBA is. They've kind of extended it a little bit. Also with the trade rumors and stuff, kind of goes year-round. Really, it fits in well. And the NFL, there's kind of like a little bit of a gap with how much you can talk about the NFL when it ends, and then the preseason. There's a little bit of a gap there. So I think if you extend it one extra
We're
game.
in that gap.
Yeah, we're in that gap, right?
Yeah, it's
so
like
if you-
baseball season.
If you extend it one extra game and then you extend the
Yeah.
Super Bowl out a little bit, that's just more time for us to talk about the NFL.
I mean,
that's
yeah,
not a
Bub.
bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, think about it, Bub. What if
I'm just thinking about the players' perspective. I mean, if they're not all on board with it, and I mean, you got a large
They're not on
majority
board.
that's not in favor of it.
I mean, but if everyone but say 46%, literally everyone, fans, the NFL, and only 46% of players aren't on board with it, who really loses? 46% of players.
Yeah, and
the future players that don't really have a say coming.
But what's
in.
the future of the NFL anyway right now?
Quality or quantity over quality?
Well, I mean, definitely. I mean, that's definitely
That's
been
all it is.
That's definitely been the case since we started taking. But what I'm saying is, there's already people, kids deciding they're not going to play football because of what we've seen some of the outcomes be. I mean, what is the future of the NFL? I don't think any of the decisions being made right now in the NFL are for the future of the NFL. I think all of the decisions being made right now are for the NFL within the next 5 years. Anything that's not is a money decision. Period.
Yep.
I agree with you.
I'm not going to disagree with you on anything money decision. That's all it is. Money grab.
That's it. I wonder if you was to go and do that survey again and ask these players, money not an object. It's not even on the table.
Yeah, no stipulations. Would
No
you do it?
stipulations. For the love of the game, would you play another game? I'm going to say more than 40%.
And I think that's a cop-out answer
That's
for the love
not
of the
okay.
game.
Well, that's not completely fair because by the time the guys are ready to retire, a lot of them by that time are just ready to be. I wouldn't play another football game right now if I had to. 3 years ago, I absolutely loved the game.
I understand that.
You see what I'm saying? Like I'm done. When I'm done, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
So like I feel a lot of guys. Jason Kelsey's probably going to be one of those guys. Feel the same way. Done. He's done. You could
Yeah.
see it in that man's eyes when he gave the emotional.
Yeah, he's
speech.
also getting paid handsomely to do the sports broadcasting.
That's true. We should probably revoke his college degree from
He
his
probably
law.
Too late to take it away?
Rob, is it too late to take it from him?
No, because he probably didn't use it.
I'm not going to take it from him either. But hey, what it is, what it is. You're listening to the 7-4 Sports Show. We're going to be right back here with our wrap up presented by Hothead Burritos in just a moment, right here on Fox Sports 105 WYPC Jackson.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. My grandpa Lou is the reason why my dad and I started racing, and I'm really proud to follow in his tracks. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. I've learned a lot on this journey with my grandpa Lou, and the memories of my grandpa will always be with me. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Talking about Alzheimer's can be really tough, but if you notice something, have a conversation with your loved one. Encourage them to see a doctor or offer to go with them. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. The Alzheimer's Association provides care, support, and research to help you take control of the situation with your family and manage the disease together. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Native American children live in poverty and face some very tough days. But they also have great days. They happen here at St. Joseph's Indian School.
I love learning with my friends, playing music.
Lunchtime! For almost 100 years, St. Joe's has been giving Native American children days they love and educating them for life. Learn more at stjo.org today.
Hey, life doesn't stop when cancer starts. After diagnosis, treatment is vital. But for some, just getting there, to appointments, chemo, or radiation, is a major challenge. You can change that. Volunteer to give rides with the American Cancer Society Road to Recovery program. Driving for a few hours of your day can make a life-saving difference for someone with cancer. Visit cancer.org/drive to learn more.
Everyone knows texting while driving is a recipe for disaster. But other forms of distracted driving, like changing the radio station, putting on makeup, or talking with a passenger, can be just as dangerous. This is Trooper Malone with the Ohio State Highway Patrol. Every time someone takes their eyes or focus off the road, even just for a few seconds, they put their life and lives of others in danger. Distracted driving is unsafe and the consequences can be devastating. Help us drive to save lives. Never drive distracted.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom! I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Weather is brought to you today by Carmen's Used Cars and Trucks. We won't want to miss the hot deals like this 2013 Ford F-150 Extended Cab Automatic with V8. It's only $17,995 at Carmen's in Jackson. We're expecting another hot one today as the area remains under that heat advisory through 8 p.m. Saturday. Sunshine with temperatures climbing up to around 94. Then tonight, mostly clear. Lows will be around 70. More of the same for your Friday. Sunny and hot.
Themselves, I'll put it this way, away from the stage. Not at the stage at the moment. Yeah. And we like to mess with them, have a good time, talk them 5, 4. And they got their feet moving over here. And, we're back here live. And again, like I said, broadcasting from the Stockroom 601 here in Jackson. Trivia night coming up in about an hour and 10 minutes here. That's going to be hosted by Lori Graves. It's going to be a great time. So get on down here. This is what it's about. Sports and local comedy and trivia.
Do we know the trivia topic yet?
We don't.
I said I was going to ask.
Science, math.
I was doing trivia over there and checking out the selection behind the bar, but
okay. Well, hey, I'm glad you guys are back because we are ready for the wrap up. And today's wrap up is presented by Hot Heads Burritos. Download the app and let those points start adding up. What do you guys have as we wrap up here today on a hot Thursday afternoon in the 740?
You want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead,
the only
Rob.
thing I seen was what I showed you there earlier. I don't know if you had, but it looks like J.J. Redick agrees to 4-year deal.
Oh, is it
to
happening?
The Lakers. I don't know that he signed it yet.
It's
but
not
he's
on paper.
He's agreed
but
to be their
it's-
coach for 4 years.
Wow.
It's everything going to happen.
Wow. Okay, so that means LeBron's staying in L.A.
I would say it helps.
No, I think that means LeBron. JJ's not taking that job without LeBron, right?
I would say so, yeah. I mean, but then again, it would be him being a first-time coach, so it's him getting the,
Well, first of all, hang on. You're a senior basketball guy. Why are they telling me this information?
Well, I've seen it, but like like they were saying, it's not official. So
I don't listen,
It's just
brother.
more prevalent right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to happen.
You're a senior basketball guy. I demand these things from you. Put it in the group chat.
I seen it on
LeBron
TikTok.
stays or Bronny goes.
Did you see it on the
there, one of the
TikTok?
I seen it on TikTok. That's why I got the news before him.
Okay. Did you send it to him on TikTok?
I don't have TikTok.
Oh.
I think it's a good fit, though. I mean, don't you guys? Do you think it's enough to?
I mean, I'm a Redick fan, so I don't,
So Rob is now a
I'm
LeBron
in.
fan. If
No,
he
I'm a
stays.
Lakers fan. I think they should ship LeBron, but now that I'm a Lakers fan,
Championship.
Now that I'm a Lakers fan.
Yeah. They're definitely going to ship LeBron. I think LeBron. You think LeBron's got one more in him?
One more championship?
Yeah.
Is that him ring chasing and trying to go to a contender already?
I just asked if LeBron has one more. I mean,
On the current
is that
team, he's
still his
on no.
focus?
I mean, he's Brown's tier 1.
Is it still LeBron's focus?
On the current team, he's on no. I mean, of course, it's his focus, but being on the Lakers, no, that's not going to happen on the Lakers.
They got to do what he's done throughout his whole career and put people in place around him to help him get a championship.
Oh, okay.
Got to have money to do
You
it.
got to have like a big three, like Wade and Bosh, and you know what I mean. Like
Pippen,
you gotta travel
Rodman, Steve
You got to go
Kerr.
wherever they're at.
Yeah.
I
Phil Jackson is a
wasn't
coach.
saying. I was just saying. that-
no,
that-
so
we're
we-
just
no,
not-
no, so we- no,
that
no,
was,
yeah.
that was
Yeah.
just like the most
Yeah.
relevant one I could
Yeah.
compare it to.
Yeah. We're going to keep it moving here in the wrap up for the day. Rob, anything you want to speak on?
That was it. That was the Redick, the JJ Redick news. That was my. I'll break that. And I'm for it. Like I said, I'm a Redick fan. I've got a number 4 blue Duke jersey hanging in my closet.
Yeah.
I may rock it some point in time.
You
just
mean
to
Lakers?
just to celebrate it. No,
You
I got
said
his
Rocket.
Yeah.
Yao Ming jersey in there too.
I don't have a Yao Ming. As definitely wouldn't fit.
You're a Jordan fan, right? No, I mean you are. Like you like Michael Jordan.
Wow.
You can say
Who
yes.
doesn't like
Yeah,
Michael
I
Jordan?
just think it's
He's, like,
disgusting
afraid
that
to
you
say
claim
it.
to be a Duke fan and you love Michael Jordan. I think that is the most biggest
I don't-
hypocrisy you've ever had.
Wow.
Of course,
Bob.
Michael Jordan.
Ding, ding,
What
ding.
other teams do
Yeah,
you like
no
that
doubt.
you're hiding?
He was in the NBA whenever I was born. So like, it was irrelevant that he played for
I mean,
North
I
Carolina.
hated Tom Brady and he played at Michigan.
But do you hate
before.
North Carolina?
Yeah, it's true.
Huh?
Do you hate
I'm a
North
Duke
Carolina?
fan. I just
He'll root,
Yeah.
he'll root for the best player.
Hansborough. Can't stand Hansborough. If we're talking somebody,
Active pickleball player now. in the
Really?
world. Active pickleball
You had
player.
Grayson Allen and
Probably great
Kyle
with the
Singler.
wingspan.
He's
so I'm
phenomenal.
a Singler fan,
He's
not
great.
a Grayson Allen fan. I don't know that I'm a Grayson Allen guy.
No.
But Plumlee, I mean, them
Dirty.
brothers.
Plumlee. But yeah, they were great. They were
right.
great at Duke.
All right, fair enough. Boys, we're wrapping up here for the day. I got Bub's thoughts. I got Rob's thoughts. Brown, I got to get your thoughts here. We're wrapping up. You got anything for us today?
No, but looking ahead, I mean, I'm excited for the NBA draft that's coming.
Yeah, 2 weeks away.
Yeah, I mean, obviously not as a prolific draft as what everybody is
I think it's a
projecting,
little
but
misleading though. Like there's some good talent in there.
yeah, there, like we were saying yesterday, there's going to be a lot of talent. I mean, you're going to find some talent. You're going to find a lot of role players. Hopefully, they get put in the right situations.
It's just not cut and dry.
It's not cut and dry. You're not going to have, you
I
know,
seen there's a sophomore in high school they're looking at or something like that, wasn't it?
sophomore in high school.
It's terrifying that the Spurs have the 4th overall pick too.
Yeah,
That's a terrifying thought that they
Yeah.
pick 4th, and there's a lot of options there with them.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued by the draft. Who do you guys have as players in this year's draft?
Oh, it's funny you say that. I've actually got a list here.
I was aware of the fact that you
I
did.
think
we script this show.
I
every
think the
day.
best player in the draft coming up is Reed Shepherd, the guard out of Kentucky. He's 6'3".
Okay. Yeah, he had a
second.
great combine.
He averaged 12 points per game, 4 assists, and 2.5 steals, which I thought was the most impressive stat of
His
his.
vertical was nutty at the combine.
And I love the 6'3" size. It's very John Wall-esque.
Yeah. Okay.
Alexander Sarr, I've got him as the second best player. He's a center out of Australia. Great talent, good body. Only played 27 games though. Gives a lot of effort. Can kind of dribble outside.
Yeah.
Kind of a 3-level scorer if he can get his 3-pointer consistency up.
Love it.
Third, I've actually got Steven Castle, the guard out of UConn. I think
kid.
he is a 6'6" guard. I love the size at 6'6", 215. Plays a lot like Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
At 4, I've got Donovan Singen, the 7'2" center out of UConn. Brown, I know you're high on
Yeah.
him. That's
Like
a guy that you really like. He's a physical player, uses his size to his advantage.
Right.
And then rounding it up, I got this last name. He's 5 just because of his name alone. It's Zachary Rissacher.
Okay.
It's French, but I don't think there's any French pronunciation.
Give him
And
a
if there is-
nickname. Go.
Richie.
Okay.
He's a 6'8" guard forward. He doesn't feel as polished as a few of the other people I mentioned before, but he's got some raw talent.
Polished or not.
He's got some raw talent, and he seems like a trap if somebody takes him early at like 1 or 2. I think he falls to 5 or so.
All
He
right.
just doesn't have that intensity that Sar brings as well.
And there's going to be some projects. I mean, you just have to
Yeah, this
give
is
these
just the
guys.
top 5 that I was like, I watched them and I was impressed with them, and I think these will be the top 5 that go first, and then I would like to see the back end of the draft as well, kind of
Yeah.
the back end of the first round.
Well, we'll be covering it throughout the draft and getting ready for all that.
I can
so.
only research so many things.
Wow, bub. Wow, bub. Hey, we appreciate all of your research time and everything that you do here. Like I said, Brown, we're going to be covering it, and we're going to keep you involved throughout our coverage of the NBA draft and the fun to come here on the 740 Sports Show. And wrapping up for us today, real quick, wrapping up on my end, guys, do you have your average football player or your average athlete or your maybe not so notable athlete for the day? Rob?
Paul O'Neill.
Paul O'Neill.
Paul O'Neill played right field for the Cincinnati Reds.
Okay.
And the New
Yeah.
York Yankees.
I
that
remember
was
Paul O'Neill.
My mother's favorite player, and that's actually how I became a Yankee fan, is because he was drafted by the Reds and then traded to the Yankees, and that's where it started.
Okay,
So
Paul O'Neill. Paul O'Neill, bub. Okay.
Chris Perry, running back from Michigan that got drafted to Cincinnati.
Okay, Chris Perry, Bengal, another irrelevant Bengal. Brown?
I'm going to go with Chris Anderson, Birdman.
Wow,
Yeah.
throwing it back to the NBA.
Yeah,
I love
well,
an
NBA.
NBA reference from you. I'm going to go Frank, excuse me, Frank Wycheck.
Thought you were going to go Frank Ragnow tackle from the Lions.
Former receiver from the Tennessee Titans. Thank you for listening to the 740 Sports Show. It's been a blast today. We're wrapping up from Stockroom 601. A big thank you to our street team members. Of course, Main Street TV manager Dylan Euler here, manning the helm. We got Mikey and Max Pirani here today. Ella Willett, as well as Adrian Sharp. Sorry, and Jade Six. So we appreciate all of you guys and everything that you guys have done for us today, getting us on the air, getting us moving down here at Stockroom 601. Again, get on down here for Trivia Night. Begins at 7 p.m. here. Lori Graves is hosting. You're not going to want to miss any of that action. So again, on behalf of myself, Eric Landrum, Bub, Brown, thank you for everything you do. Hey, Rob, DJ and Rob, we appreciate everything you do as well.
Trivia topic?
Trivia topic.
90s music?
90s music.
Oh,
90s
I don't
movies.
watch movies.
Ooh.
90s movies is the trivia topic. So I don't know if we might have to stick around for some of the
Titanic
90s
was in the
movies
90s, wasn't
trivia.
it?
Titanic.
Can we get a Mrs. Doubtfire?
Wow. Throw in the ref.
Flubber?
I don't know. Flubber? We called Bubba Flubber for like a month when that movie came out afterwards. It was
Good
great.
movie.
It was a great movie. Hey, thanks for listening to Fox Sports Radio 105.3 WYPC Jackson and the 740 Sports Show. Until next time, make life better for every person you meet. I think we could all agree on that. And Bub and Rob, you guys don't fight so much. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Bye.